The title of our particular show: The Sheep Are Sound Asleep. The sheep are sound. If only you knew. If only you all knew what's exactly what's going on here, okay? The sheep are sound asleep, folks. So happened I, took a trip outside to get my essential things, okay, quote unquote essential. That's deep in itself, especially in the land of the free, okay? In the land of the free, where you're locked into your home and told you can only leave for essential products. And guess who dictates what's essential? I'm going to show you where all this is going, folks. The sheep are sound asleep. God's people. Where you at? Where are you? Huh? All right. Man, wait till you. I'm anticipating this particular show this evening because I like to hear from you. Okay. I'd like to hear from you, and I'm going to, and when I get back, I'm going to let you know exactly why we titled this, The Sheep Are Sound Asleep. We have Elder Lawya on standby. We have Rawchaa on standby. We have you on standby. Folks, wait till you hear how today went and what led to this particular broadcast. I'll be right back. Come on in, hit the like button, subscribe as you come in, and because you have to subscribe. Why? Because after each broadcast, they censor our videos where you cannot, anyone that's actually subscribed it, don't get, you don't get alarmed that we're on. Because usually if you hit the bell, it's so that when we broadcast, those that, don't forget, we have 70,000 subscribers. Only about 1,000 people get notified because they unsubscribe people and make sure they're censoring people who's actually blowing this thing wide open and letting you understand, according to God, what's really going on. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, we're only going to be 2 minutes. We're going to jump right in with the sheep are sound asleep. God's people, where are you? I'm Elder Rawchaa from the Gathering of Christ Church. Hold tight. We'll be right back. She's going to put on this, you have to put our academy thing out there. And then we're going full board into this particular broadcast for you this evening. Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. Yes, you are. You are invited. All right. I have to bring my partner in Christ up in here with us. We don't have no partners in crime up here. We have partners in Christ. How are you doing, Elder Lawya?
Sir, I'm doing well. Can't complain. Breath in the lungs, roof over the head, clothes in the back, food in the belly. So we give all praise and honor to the Most High for that. All right. Hey, Lawya.
Brother, the sheep are sound asleep. I purposely, Lawya, didn't tell you, like always, why I title what I title, because I like your spontaneous reaction. And I need you to hold on. You're a very serious man. I'm serious too, but listen, You can't help but through all this, because I'm going to get to the serious part of it first, because I like to break the ice with a little smile, right? So that you can understand that what's happening right now is good, right? The Most High, regardless of what we must go through, right? What I'm seeing right here and what's going on in the earth, folks, is absolutely good. I laughed. Lawya, I almost crashed. I was like steering my wheel on my way, trying to get back to the house. And I'm trying to call everyone I know because, Lawya, tears were coming down my eyes and down my face. And guess what? It wasn't tears of fear. It wasn't tears of, what's going on, because, sometimes you have to laugh through crying, laugh to stop from crying. Lawya, these were tears of total hilarity. I'm going to tell you what happened today. And it let me, I'm like, you know what? We're going to open it up for all the people today, because we want to hear what they have to say, but I need to tell you what framed this particular discussion. Because I initially, when I woke up, said, well, okay. Right now, the Most High is separating God, his people, from the world. On top of this separation, there's a reshift economically that's going on, right? Where some people out there, most people in the world, will need to compromise their morality and their health to be sustained in a satanic world. So I wanted to put out there, brothers and sisters, what are you going to do to reshift yourself and sustain if your employment isn't available, or the Satan or Satan's system is asking you to compromise your soul, your spirit, as well as your health for the sake of a paycheck? Have you been restructuring yourself or reshifting your mind to not be so dependent to the point in which it will compromise your very existence? So, Lawya, that's where I was going at first. So we're going to hit on that because I have some scriptures on that, on what to do.
Absolutely.
But Lawya, on the way back, I'm like, you know what? The Most High brung what you would call a balance. I swerved off the road and I stopped my car and put it on, Lawya, I put my car on hazards for the sole purpose of just cracking up to a degree in which I couldn't hold myself. What I witnessed out there under this COVID thing, folks, was total hilarity. I mean, this is something out of a Will Ferrell movie. I mean, Lawya, this was something out of an Adam Sandler movie. You can't make this up. If I would have been able to take out my phone and record this, Lawya, and put it up, I couldn't take out my phone because I was laughing so hard. I believe this particular thing would have went viral, 2 to 3 million views off the top, what I witnessed in Home Depot. Let me get it together. Lawya already getting his mouth fixed to try to figure out where this is going. Lawya's like, okay, don't worry about it. You ain't gonna laugh too hard, Lawya. This is what I witnessed in Home Depot there to get my essentials. First of all, I seen people, everyone have masks on, right? Everyone had masks on. Now this wasn't one of the hood Home Depots. This is one of the to do good in a good neighborhood Home Depots. Everyone was like 6 feet apart, and they had these cones and these yellow warning signs and all this, right? And I'm, brothers and sisters, I'm taking a bird's eye view, and that's why we're titling this, The Sheep Are Sound Asleep. The world has gone mad. The world has gone mad. God's people, where are you? What's going on? Right? Lawman, check it out. The optics, I'm dealing with this from a bird's eye view and just checking it out. If I dropped in, Lawya, from another place and knew nothing about this run up with COVID-19, just say if I was asleep 10 years ago and awakened now without anyone telling me anything, right? I would think that we were in total war zone right now, a bomb dropped somewhere, right? But that's just one area. I actually go into this, folks, and Lawya, I cannot. Let me tell you, I can't. I'm mincing my words here. Listen to this. Check this out. Lord, I pulled my car over, brothers and sisters. Right? And I prayed. I'm like, Lord, just give me the focus just to drive home and have this broadcast. I need to start here. Everyone is 6 feet apart. And I'm perplexed at the way the world powers in government was able with this one COVID-19 thing. How they were able to deputize the majority of the world's citizens, specifically in America. Everyone is a police right now. Everyone has been deputized. The guy that used to throw trash out at the back of Home Depot now is the one saying, stop. Okay, wait. Looking at his cell phone, 10 people, 50. This guy was just taking out trash 3 weeks ago at Home Depot. He's been deputized. Right? I'm checking this out because these are the people I used to see going to the same Home Depot. Folks, the people I used to know at Home Depot used to smile, ask you, what aisle you need to walk down on or whatever the case is. These people no longer exist, folks. Everyone has been deputized. Everyone is 5-0 right now. Right? Elder Lawya, check this out. I'm like, Lord, I needed this laugh. This is what I needed to get through. I'm like, this is what I needed. Lawman, no more anticipation. I'm not going to drag this on too long. There was a guy around 348 pounds, Lawya. He's about 6'4", around 350. A brother, right? Let me tell you something. This brother had a gasket. He had pieces to a gasket and was trying to hurry through the line because he said there was an emergency at his friend's house. He had to fix some type of gas gasket or something for a stove or whatever the case is. So you can tell the brother really had an emergency. And I'm looking at the brother, right? But I'm also staring at the teller or the person that's working the machines that are ringing things through so that this brother can actually ring up his stuff and go and fix his emergency. So I'm seeing this cataclysm. I'm seeing this thing about to unfold. And I'm looking around. I'm saying, Lawya, I'm looking. I'm like, you know what? No one else see what I'm about to see? I mean, this is sweet what I'm about to check out. I'm going to sit back and see this thing unfold. So the 350-pound guy runs because he have to get ready to get out of there, Lawya. There's a guy. He's a white guy. And, you can tell he don't have it all together. May the Lord bless his soul. But this guy, a white guy, he had to have been about 130 pounds. And he was the height of Prince without the high heels on. Now, this is how it gets deep. He says, stop right there. The little guy, right? The Home Depot guy who's been deputized. And the brother look at him. And the brother take his mask down so he can ring things up and just get out of there. You have those little orange guns, right, Lawya?
Right.
The little orange guns that he trying to ring his little gasket pieces up. And the little guy says, stop right there. You don't have a mask on. And the dude had his mask down. He says, what? He look around, he looked down. He's like, dude, he says, I got an emergency. You stop right there. Stop. And everyone's looking at this dude. Man, I'm sitting there dying. He says, you don't have a mask. I'm like, okay, this is deep, right? So the guy takes the gun from me, and the little guy is wrestling with it, right? He's wrestling with it, and the dude pushed him over, and next thing you know, he's sitting there saying, you don't know the rules. It's COVID-19, and you're sitting there, and he called him an N-word and all that because the guy had his mask down. You don't have a mask. Lawyer, I've never laughed so hard in the history of my life. And I'm sitting there looking at the people. I'm looking at this thing. And I'm like, you know what? This is deep. I'm like, because what this guy doesn't know is that machines have just replaced him. Number one, the little guy, Deputized, who believe he owned Home Depot.
That's right.
I'm like, the news have rewired these guys. I'm trying to figure out, I would be a fly on the wall, Lawyer, to hear the pep talks some of these guys are getting at Home Depot. But it's not just there. The black guy, only thing he did was take down his mask for a second. He had to be about Lawyer. He had to be about 350, 6'4", 6'5". And this little guy had the gumption, had the spirit, the chutzpah to try to stop this guy because he had his mask down. Just for a second. And I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to talk about tonight also. This is what the Most High was talking about when he says the love of many shall wax cold. And I could only think of one thing, Lawyer. This guy, I wish it was filmed. I could only think of one thing, and you know what? They actually broke this down, Lawyer, in the Kingsman's video. The Kingsman. Remember that movie? Samuel Jackson, brothers and sisters? The Kingsman, where you had the Freemasons with the secret societies and all that, who was really behind the construct of the world. And then you had Samuel Jackson, who was planning on using some type of signal to have everyone go crazy and go against each other. Lawyer, here's the piece that really put it over the top in my thoughts. In my thoughts on my way home. I'm like, it's deep because I bet you all of these people in Home Depot, in that line, I bet you 90% of these people, black, white, or the other, check out this spin, folks. I put money on it that these people were Christians. That 90% of these people that are being controlled through fear, going against one another and all that. None of them are looking to the Bible to why this is going on. The sheep are sound asleep. And 9 times out of 10, the majority of these people are people who believe in Christ and believe in the Bible. But yet, all of them were divided. They were 6 feet apart. They were divided, just individuals, 6 feet apart. There was also divided between black and white, between tall and short. The sheep are sound asleep, and I couldn't help to think that I'm not the only one who had to pull over and laugh. The whole world is having a laugh under this COVID-19. Why? When I say the whole world, the New World Order powers who's shaping legislation are somewhere together, not social distancing, having a laugh. These people all come together to worship Jesus on Sunday. And during the most volatile moment in which believers in Christ need each other, outside of the church, they're totally ripping each other apart. You would think in a moment like this, all that Christ, forgiveness, love, what's going on? Are we living in a world of straight hypocrisy where it only applies once we come together, Christians, Sunday morning, you so-called Christians? We told you a long time ago that these Christians, these Sunday-going Christians have been playing church. We told you. They don't really believe what they're learning. They don't really believe in the morality and love of Christ, because more so than ever, this is the time to actually apply Christ's principles. Christ's principles. Right now. Right now, people need food. Everyone is hoarding for themselves and no one is thinking about anyone else. People need shelter. No one is coming together. Only the righteous are coming together, planning not strictly for themselves, but for the body. I thought America was a free Christian society. Huh? Now, before I go in, I have a lot to talk about today. Before I go in, let me hear your opinion, Lawya. I'm going to open it up for you. Your opinion first. The sheep are sound asleep and the world is going mad. Where are you Christians? You mean, oh, I know what it is. COVID-19, a sickness that they claim is a sickness, trumps, no pun intended, trumps the tenets of your moral and spiritual obligations to your fellow man. Huh? Is this all it takes? Is a scare of a disease to have you give up your faith and to have you give up your humanity towards your fellow man? We told you a long time ago that this Christianity in America was a farce. Was a farce. Straight hypocrites. Where's your faith? I thought Christ, and I know he did it because I know my Christ did, healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, healed the lepers. He didn't see a leper and be like, well, hold up, quarantine me for 2 weeks. Where's your faith, Christians? Elder Lawya, go on real quick. Come on.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that, well, I didn't experience what you experienced today, but I can say this. What usually takes about maybe an hour, anywhere between an hour and 2 hours, going out to the grocery stores and shopping, today took about 5.5 hours, because I'm going to different stores, and as I pull up, I'm seeing people lined up all the way on the outside of the store. And I have to make a conscious decision to decide that I'm not going to be one of those people standing in the line, if I don't have to, waiting to get inside a grocery store. So I have to go around and go from, borough to borough, state to state, trying to find places where lines are not piled up to the outside of the grocery store, or any other type of store I'm trying to get into. And that's pretty much been my whole day. But something you mentioned very key about the deputizing of the citizens, and the citizens being initiated as some type of police force. I heard a statement earlier, actually just a few hours ago, from Governor Cuomo of New York. And I'm pulling up the article now where he actually states, I'm going to read his exact quote. The name of the article is Governor Cuomo mandates that all New Yorkers must wear masks in public. Now here's his quote. It says, meaning the same thing we've been saying from day one, Cuomo said Wednesday. If you're going to be in public and cannot maintain social distancing, then have a mask and put the mask on when you're not in socially distant places. You're walking down the street and you're walking down the street alone. You're now at an intersection and there are people in the intersection and you're going to be in proximity to the other people. Put the mask on. Now, earlier when he made the quote on the radio, he was stating that, well, we don't necessarily have to enforce it. Just kind of paraphrasing what he was stating from a police aspect. You'll more so have to deal with a New Yorker, okay, a fellow citizen coming up to you and telling you, put your mask on, or why don't you have your mask on? Alluding to the fact that they're more so depending on the citizens to police each other to make sure that what they bring forward is effectively instituted. So this is something we've been mentioning from the past few weeks, as far as how they're getting the society in such a state where people will begin to turn on each other, as you mentioned, white against black, Christian against Christian, Christian against Muslim. All of these different aspects of society are being placed one against another, and none of these particular religious factions were about love, peace, brotherhood, fellow man, sisterhood, justice, righteousness, charity, long suffering. None of them are actually instituting these principles in the midst of this quote unquote crisis. Now, this one last thing I wanted to mention in reference to I would go as far as to say the hypocrisy of the so-called religious community, primarily those who proclaim to be followers of the Bible. Mm-hmm. Here it is, right? Let's say last year this time, if you were to tell someone who follows the Bible or proclaims to believe in Jesus Christ or believe in God, that you must separate yourself because the laws of the Bible say that in uncleanness, you must separate yourself to prevent the uncleanness from spreading. That's in the laws of God. That person who proclaims to be a follower of the Bible would have told you that, well, that's the Old Testament. That's done away with. We don't have to follow that stuff. We're covered by the blood of Jesus. Now these same people, under the auspices of COVID-19, because the government comes out and says that, well, because of uncleanness, because of the disease spreading, you now must remain separate. You now must quarantine yourselves. Everyone is following suit. Why so? How is it when the laws of God give you a particular principle that tells you that you must do this for your benefit because God says so? Everyone finds an excuse not to follow what God says. But now everyone follows to the letter of the law when the government says to do something. And this is what I'm finding more and more under the new COVID-19 society. Everyone is quick to follow the laws of Caesar before following the laws of God, or putting Caesar's laws over the laws of God.
Lawyer, that's deep in itself. That's profound, brother. That's profound because you know what? It flies in the face of all Christendom. Because I didn't hear a Christian out there yet say that I have faith through this, that my God is more powerful than COVID-19. And through his spirit, we can heal. I'm not talking about no crack nut job like Kenneth Copeland. And I'm not talking about someone actually getting on TV grandstanding. I'm talking about someone walking in the faith with no fear of anything, knowing that no disease is higher than the power of Christ. And that's why Christ said, you render unto Caesar what is Caesar, but you render unto God what is God's, because our Lord have power over every disease. Christ raised Lazarus from the dead. COVID-19 what? Where is the faith of the Christians? Where are you? I'm seeing Christians like that, like that scene I've just shown from the Kingsman, ripping each other apart over the mighty dollar, over a few cents. You get deputized, get a job, and go against your own fellow man. Okay? You punch in. Folks, let me tell you, you're not CIA, you're not police. Here it is, people are being deputized against their own fellow man for a paycheck. And I'm looking at this big burly guy in Home Depot who could rip this guy apart. I'm like, listen, what's going on with these people, folks? I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the love of many shall wax cold. Folks, this is a dry run before the mark of the beast. Because I'll tell you, Lawyer, if you will sell out your own brother or sister in this current climate, and this is really a test run. Of course, they're going to kill thousands through it. This is a test run. Imagine what's going to happen when they implement the mark of the beast. Huh? Now, real quick, I'm going to open up the lines because I need to hear some of y'all experiences. But let's deal with some common sense right here. Real quick, some common sense. Let's see what the powers that be, because we know Satan runs this world. Okay. Let's see what Satan have accomplished so far. Citizen dissent. We have it where brothers and sisters, citizens of the earth, no matter what nationality you are under or what country you were born or raised in, you're now under citizen dissent in which you cannot trust anyone, including your own family. Okay. Next, let's deal with the medical side of this. And you can jump in any time, Elder Rawchaa, the medical side. What I'm hearing is, for the last couple of weeks, ventilators. We need more ventilators. Come to find out, the ventilators are doing more harm than good. But that's as far as for those who are on them. They're doing exactly what the powers that be wants of these ventilators. Why? The ventilators is, remember how when we used to go see someone who was, sick, very, very ill, and we would go into the room and they had that tube down their throat, and we thought they was in a coma, but come to find out that they were medically sedated. We thought that the sickness or the accident caused their sedation, but they said, no, we had to put them on a ventilator because because it's so much pain going on with he or she. They're in so much pain. And if we were to take them off of the sedation, they'll pull the thing out. And they need that to breathe. So the ventilators, even though the ventilators, people are dying on them, hands over fist, is doing exactly what the powers that be need of it. Why? Because under the sedation and a virus, they can tell the family anything. They can say, well, because they're so contagious, they're too contagious, you can't come in a room and check out what we're doing up in there. Okay? It can lead to death, or even, why kill the person when we can keep them live on the ventilators long enough to get their organs? And yet you can't say anything because COVID-19 has separated you from your own family members. Huh? Citizen dissent, can't trust each other. COVID-19, or whatever the disease is more important than God himself. So because this thing is so deadly and all this, I'm going to allow the government to take my family, put them on sedation, and do what they will with no oversight or anyone behind closed doors who care about them. While someone somewhere can now bid, at the highest bid for my family's organs. Okay? So these hospitals are accomplishing everything they need to accomplish. Okay, what's another essential business during this time? Some people say, well, funeral homes are essential, but they're not letting you gather at funeral homes, folks. You can't gather and lay down your loved one with an honorable burial like the Bible states. States one should give their loved ones. Well, the funeral homes are essential because they're contracted with the hospitals to incinerate the bodies. You don't hear the funeral homes complaining, do you? So, I mean, they're accomplishing so much under this. And I'm not even talking about the financial resetting they're doing, Elder Lawya, right now. The financial resetting. So while they got everyone going against each other, the New World Order under Satan is doing exactly what the Bible said they would do. And at the end of it, after they have everyone fighting against each other, when you finally realize what's going on, because of all the infighting, one against another, folks, by the time you figure out what's going on, they're going to already have the foundation in place, the military apparatus in place to crush those who should have been praying together, who should have been together the whole time and not get divided through anything, let alone a disease. This is where we are. Now, I'm just putting it out there. Now, I'm not going to say that. Just say everything is correct what they're saying concerning this. It's this boogeyman, dark disease that's killing everything that's in its wake. Just say it's exactly what they say it is. Just say it is. You compromising your connection with the Most High and your fellow man. Is it worth you throwing all of that out of the window? Is it worth you sacrificing your humanity for the sake of a disease? I'm putting that out there. Just think about that. Now, we're going to open it up because I said I'm going to open it up where all can talk, but the world is going mad, folks. The world is going mad. People are punching in at Home Depot and are deputizing themselves as if they're sheriff of a town, folks. People are punching in to Best Buy, and you would have swore that they just swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. I'm gonna tell you, folks, the world has gone mad. If this is not a dry run for the mark of the beast, I don't know what is. And that's why the Most High said in Deuteronomy 32, for I sin, Israel sinned. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a foolish nation over you. A foolish nation. Now, I never really understood that because, yes, there are some intelligent people at the foundation of these governments. You cannot be a fool running a government, can you? You have to have some level of intelligence. When the Most High said that, when Christ says that, when the Most High said in Deuteronomy 32 that I will put a foolish nation over you. Think about this. What makes a nation foolish is thinking that you can divide your citizens on every level and that eventually believe that nation would stand. A nation divided against itself cannot stand. Now, you can control it for a specific amount of time through the infighting, but eventually that particular nation collapse on itself. And that's what the Most High meant by, I'm going to put a foolish nation over you. A foolish nation who would divide its own citizens against each other, knowing the end result that what? A nation divided against itself collapses. It has an expiration date. Babylon the Great, it's fallen. It's fallen. And you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to let what's going on out there and what they're saying dictate my path with the Most High, my morality, my humanity, and my responsibility to my brethren, to my sisters. I'm not going to allow it to happen. If you allow that to happen, folks, they've already won. You have to draw a line somewhere, and that line is the laws of the Most High and the word of the Most High. And it's deep that, Lawya, you brought that out. I didn't know that Christians can follow laws so well. When it comes to God's law, we can't follow that law. That law is too hard. The law is done away with. But as soon as the president say COVID-19, you put on a mask. You got gloves on. You are 6 feet apart. The sheep are sound asleep. I thought you couldn't follow law. I thought the law was done away with. You fear Caesar more than the Almighty, more than Christ. This whole earth is filled with a bunch of hypocrites. And I'm talking about its citizens. Bunch of hypocrites. You don't believe in the Christ you claim you've been praying to. You don't believe in Christ. Hold up, Elder Lawya. The sheep are sound asleep. God's people, where are you? Where are you? Now, the next phase I want to go into is there's a financial reset that's going on, folks. All together, there's a financial reset. That little robot they have moving around, that was moving around in your Giant a year ago or in your supermarket that you thought was just a dry run for some extra security. Folks, what I just heard on the radio on my way here is the next phase in this. And I said this on, I hate to keep saying this, folks. On the corner, 9th and Market, 2009, I said that eventually every line in your Home Depot, in your stores, will be self-checkout. And the police, and you remember that, Lawya?
Yes, sir.
The police and the military will be the guards in and out of these particular places, and there'll be one way in and one way out to get your products. Walmart will become it will become your nuts to bolts. It will be your commissary. Walmart is nothing different than commissary in jail. It'll be one way in, one way out by armed guards and police. So if you're working in one of these convenience stores, clothing stores, whatever, forget about it first. The corporations have all united into one board. Okay? They're lockstep all together. That's why the same thing going on in Walmart is going in, in your grocery stores, as well as your Best Buys, your computer stores. They're all lockstep. So when you see them putting those things down and say 6 feet apart, oh, you thought it was just for the COVID-19, huh? Try to pull up one of those stickers in Home Depot and tell me how easy it is to peel that up. What they're implementing, folks, will be permanent. So that leads us, I'm talking about real believers. We now need to transition because the world has transitioned. We need to transition economically and otherwise. When I say economically, understand that if you're not willing to compromise your soul, your spirit, your morality any further than it has been compromised already, 9 times out of 10, that job you once had will not be available when the doors open. And I want to read this real quick, and then I'm going to open up the lines. Elder Lawya, I'll give you a say, and we're going to open up the lines. I want to hear what others have been experiencing too. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this. Listen, don't shoot the messenger, folks. I didn't create COVID-19. I didn't get anyone sick. Okay? So don't turn on us because we tell you the truth. Have we become your enemy because we tell you the truth? Don't turn on us. I didn't wake up one day and just turned your whole world upside down. I was prepared for this a long time ago, folks, because why? You can be in the world, but not of it. This is a mindset, and it's the best thing that could have happened. I'm going to tell you this right now, because our people, God's people, was too dependent on a nation, on a country, on an empire that was prophesied to fall. It's time for us to see the reality of what this is and adjust accordingly. And the Bible tells us how we must adjust. Elder Lawya, if you don't mind, I'm going to read this real quick. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, Elder Lawya, 38 real quick. Right? And let's start at the 24th verse for the righteous, those who really believe. Let's read that real quick.
Sirach chapter 38, verse number 24. The wisdom of a learnt man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Read that again.
The wisdom of a learnt man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
The wisdom of a learnt man or woman comes from what?
Opportunity of leisure.
Comes from opportunity of leisure. You know what? Guess what, folks? We were too busy to actually give time to build our what? Spiritual acumen. Leisure comes with what? Read it again.
Wisdom of a learnt man cometh by opportunity of leisure.
Come by opportunity of leisure. This time off the job, being quarantined and all that, this was an opportunity to gain wisdom and understanding while the whole earth is reshifting, so that whatever's on the other side when it opened up wouldn't catch you by storm. Let me tell you, if you're not prepared once this stuff open up, even the most strongest of us out there, not me, is going to acquiesce and break under the foot of the beast and be marked with the mark of the beast. So this time is to gain wisdom, not to worry. Because Satan want to take this time to have you turn on those who would actually help you in this time. That's what Satan want to use this for. But nah, I'm not sitting there scared, shaking in the corner. Oh, I wonder when they're coming to get us. Oh, forced vaccinations. Oh my God. Nah. This is the time to gain the wisdom and knowledge of the Almighty. It can only come by time. Now there's no excuse to say I've been working all the time. I'm busy. So the Most High is going to be like, why didn't you connect with me when you were quarantined? When you had no place to go? Okay? Wisdom come through leisure. Here's opportunity, folks. Read.
He that have little business shall become wise.
He that have little business shall become wise. The righteous think during this time. They pray during this time. They don't turn on each other during this time. They can go to Home Depot and see the madness, the foolishness that's out there and have a laugh. Okay. To see how the sheep are being herded. And we have taskmaster sheep herding the sheep, not realizing that they're going to be herded in the same line of destruction of those they're hurting. Everyone is being deputized. I finally get a chance to be a boss without the title and paycheck and payment for it. The only reason the powers that be is able to implement this is because the people are asleep and have acquiesced, and he's playing on what? The citizens of this earth, I would say, thirst for power and rank to be able to tell someone else what to do. And I'm sitting there laughing. You even got old women who you could tell, ain't that strong. You ain't been jogging nowhere. They haven't been lifting weights. And you got these old women sitting there trying to boss grown people around. Tell me, you go this way. No, you're supposed to stay this way. I'm like, what? What is this? Mom, you don't have no strength to tell nobody what to do. Who beefed you up like this, Mom? I mean, are y'all having pep talks? Like, is there a war song going on before y'all, come out on the floor at Home Depot? It's like, what? The world is going mad. What are they having? Are they having, do they have military sergeants coming in, prepping everyday Home Depot employees? I'm gonna tell you, it's insane, folks. Finish reading.
26 or verse 25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow and that glorieth in the goad?
How can one get wisdom when you're always working? So the Lord is saying, well, listen, you didn't have time to really build your spiritual acumen working day and night. And the Most High is telling you, listen, really there was a shortcut. The shortcut was me. If you would have linked in with me and got the wisdom, I would have shown you how not to even depend on that job, knowing one day it wouldn't be there. Okay? I would have shown you how to self-sustain by depending on me. I would have gave you enough confidence and faith in the works of your hand to be successful. And to not let the world powers dictate your path if you would have depended on me. That's what the Most High is saying. You work day and night like someone on an assembly line doing one thing every day, 8 to 10 hours a day. So what happens? You lose the wherewithal to use the rest of your brain to do well beyond the mundane task you get paid for on a daily basis. If you only do one thing every day the same way, you lose the majority of the capacity to think outside of situations. Because you're just programmed like someone on the assembly line. Okay, do one thing, put it over here. Do one thing, put it over here. Answer the phone, write it down. Answer the phone, write it down. You're not exercising the rest of your brain. Pick up something, stack it on the shelf. Pick up something, stack it on the shelf. How much brain work does that take? That's sheep. That's sheep training. Doesn't matter how much you're making. Because at any time, they can pull it away. And the majority of people in this earth that's working for these corporations, I don't care how much money you think you're making. The majority of the people are only 2 months paychecks from being homeless. Or in the red, ready to file chapter 7. So the Lord is saying what? Let's read it.
25. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow and that glorieth in the goad?
That glorieth in the goad, that glory just with your job. Oh yeah, man. Hey, today I'm cleaning lettuce. And that's not frowning upon people that are working. Okay. If that's all you think about doing, without building yourself with the Most High, what good is it? Next week, I'll be on fries. And you know what? If I keep doing this well, in 3 more years, I'll make manager. And that's where the big bucks are. And then I'm looking at what's going on in China right now. In China, Lawya, you sent me a article. In China, they're banning black people from where? I'm like, this is good. They're banning black people in China from McDonald's. Today's filled with hilarity, folks. They're banning black people from McDonald's. I mean, if it wasn't for blackface or the pushback that comes with blackface, Ronald McDonald would be black, folks. They are banning black people in China from McDonald's. I'm like, you know what? That's good. That's good. We don't need to eat that junk anyway. Maybe we're going to start taking our health seriously now. But go on, other lawyer.
How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow and that glorieth in the goad, that driveth oxen and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks?
So how can you get wisdom of the Most High when your whole existence is wrapped around your job? That's what the Lord is asking. I'm reading the wisdom in the Bible. The people that really run things in this earth, folks, thinks. They think of how not to be on a job. They think of how to have employees work for them. See? This is their thoughts. Their thoughts is not, you know what? I want to work long enough to retire. There's nothing wrong with a hard worker that works hard enough for retirement. Well, it used to be nothing wrong with it because at one time, people lived long enough to actually receive their retirement and live long enough with a higher quality of life to spend it. See? Read on.
26. He giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind fodder.
Come on.
So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and they that cut and grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, and to watch to finish a work.
So, that's art when you can see people work with wood and carpentry. Christ was a carpenter. His father was a carpenter. Right? There's a certain gift that comes with all that. But you know what's the difference between us back then when the wisdom was given? And Ecclesiastes and us now? When we do all these things now, it's actually to embolden financially those who've enslaved us. At least back then when we did these things, it was for our family. The father would be what? He would own the business and his sons and daughters would become apprentices. And at least we had a family business while working. There was no such thing as, well, I'm going to leave my father's job, my father's legacy and what he built and go to school to be something else. That's ridiculous. And this is why we as a people have nothing to give our children. This is, there's no legacy building. Why? Because we always think of working for someone else. But the Most High is changing everything right now. He's allowing Satan to reshift this whole earth. Either you're going to acquiesce and give your soul for a job, or you're going to use this time of leisure to come under the Most High to plan righteously and accordingly. There will be no middle ground when those doors open up. All the jobs are drying up, folks. Every last one. And people, guess what? People are going to even kill each other just to have a job at McDonald's. Just to be the one at the drive-thru giving out the food at the windows. The rest will be what? You got it. Laid off. Same thing with Home Depot. All these department stores. Look at what's going on in the news, folks. Guess what? People are going to, they're going to fight for slave minimum wage. Watch this, folks. Here it come. Come on, Elder Lawya, let's go.
Verse 28. The smith also sitting by the anvil, and considering the ironwork, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh, and he fighteth with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears.
Come on.
And his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work, and watcheth to polish it perfectly. So doeth the potter sitting at his work, and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all his work by number. He fashioneth the clay with his arm, and boweth down his strength before his feet. He applieth himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hands.
All these trust in their hands. And a lot of us for years only trusted in our education and the works of our hands that others have benefited off of. Read.
31. Sirach 38, verse 31. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work.
But you only become wise in that one profession. So what happens once you're laid off or that profession no longer exists? What happens? Read.
32. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell there, they will, nor go up and down.
Read.
Verse 33. They shall not be sought for in public council.
So even though these people are good at their jobs, whatever you went to school for, you will not be sought for in public council. People will not come to you to get the wisdom and direction of the Almighty, because that's not where you've actually applied yourself spiritually. You applied yourself to be accepted with your boss, instead of applying yourself to be accepted by the boss. So you won't be sought for in times like this. Okay? In time of trouble. We have to change that thinking. And the Most High is doing it. Guess what? You're going to be released from these jobs whether you want to or not. It's what the Most High in the Bible calls freedom. Because if it was up to us, we would just be in slavery forever and call it work, call it a job. Okay? This is what freedom looks like, folks. The Most High is pulling the Band-Aid off and saying, listen, no more security. No more security from those depending on those who've always enslaved you. The Christianity is hypocrisy. It's always been a farce in the Western world. It's always been a way in which the enemy could use to do what? Compromise your spirit. Compromise you. Stay close enough to keep you down. While what? While having you work for their families, embolden their children. The Most High is like, no, I'm going to show you what freedom looks like. This is what freedom looks like, folks, when jobs are no longer available. And you have to think outside the box. When your degrees mean absolutely nothing. A matter of fact, with the lack of toilet paper right now in your supermarkets, your degrees may come in handy. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. See? This is what freedom looks like, folks. This is good. This is good. Because now you're going to reach for something in you that you didn't think existed. That you didn't have to dig in and get one time in the past. Why? Because you had your security blanket, massa. Massa. But you know what Massa doing? Massa is burning the plantation house down. Now what? Let's go. Come on.
Number 33, Sirach 38, verse 33. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judges' seats, nor stand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken.
And they shall not be found where parables are spoken. Where are parables spoken, folks? The Bible. The righteous would have been would have had their nose in this the whole time. Why? Because the Bible is our foundation. It keeps us grounded. So it doesn't matter what the world says. Oh, COVID is this and COVID is that and COVID. Nah. I can see beyond what the governments are saying on the news. This is a dry run for the mark of the beast. Satan has drawn a line in the sand. He will no longer support those who opposes him. Okay? That's it. He drew a line in the sand and they called it COVID-19. You're going to have to bow to your master to survive on his grid. You're going to have to acquiesce to your boss. Your boss will become God now. He can look at you and say, hold up, you seem like you got a fever. Let me lay you off for 3 months, and about time you get back, you might act right. That's what time we're in right now, folks. Satan have drawn a line in the sand. Either you're down with the Most High, because he said, since now you're teaching all on my corners, I didn't set up my Masonic grid, and now God's people has awakened. They're on my grid speaking against me. I'm going to draw a line in the sand. And if you want to serve that God from heaven and his son, let's see if he take care of you. This is where we are, folks. This is where we are. Are you scared? Finish reading, Elder Lawyer.
Rock 38, verse 34. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft.
Hold up. If all you depend on is your education and your job, you will do what, Elder Lawyer?
They will maintain the state of the world.
You will maintain the state of the world. And these are the people that are sitting back hoping that things go back to the way things were. Because you don't see yourself fitted in any other place. These are people that are sitting back just hoping that you'll have the world that existed before COVID-19. Have you prepared yourself for a different world? We have. Those who believe has. See? Read.
Will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft.
And all their desire is in the work of their craft. Oh yeah, I got this many degrees. I've been working here this long, and what? You get all your adulations and respect through men and the education of this world. Well, Satan don't need you no more. He have built his tower. He finished building his grid. He don't need your colleges no more. He don't need any more engineers. It's finished. He done already put CERN on the grid. He've already linked in everything to try to get up off of this place through NASA. He've already built his tower into heaven and will soon get crashed down by the Almighty in the war of Armageddon. He don't need people anymore. He just needed you in a secure state long enough to help him build his empire. He don't need you anymore. He's dismantling schools. He's dismantling everything. Only thing he's going to need is humble servants who will serve him until the elite powers kill them. The people on this earth who trusted in their own education will be replaced by machines. Okay? But the Most High, he will save a remnant through this. He will. But it's those folks who doesn't compromise their soul, their humanity, and themselves during times like this. Mark of the beast test runs. And most I was like, okay, I can use some of that intellect that you've acquired through your education. I can use some of that. But you're going to use that for me. That's what the Most High is saying. I can use it. But if you think that you're going to use that for the world that used to be, that world will no longer exist after COVID-19. Any education will be useless if you're not using it for the Most High. Useless. Let's go. Come on.
Verse 34. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft.
All their desire is in what?
In the work of their craft.
Is in the work of their craft. What happens when your job no longer exists? Now, luckily for those who still work in the DC area, the Washington area, the Virginia area, luckily for you, there's a lot of still government jobs for security purposes that are still essential. But I'm going to throw this out there before I open up the lines. If there's no social gathering right now, anywhere, who's legislating in your city right now? Who's running your city in City Hall? You didn't even think about that, huh? If there's no social gathering, who's on Capitol Hill passing bills and meeting, for the good of their constituencies? Where are they if there's no social gathering? That's just food for thought, folks. There's a lot going on right up under your nose that you don't even realize. You're still just looking at somebody next to you and hope they don't sneeze. Okay? And guess what? The people that I'm talking about, you can best believe they're gathering. They're doing the same rituals they've always did amongst others. That's why when someone asked Donald Trump the other day, why are you not wearing a mask? He's like, nah, I don't need that. Oh, okay. That's for you sheep. Okay. That's for you sheep. We got a party going down tonight. And guess what? The party will be hot. Okay. I'm just putting that all out there for you right now. Like, I use these Wednesday classes, Elder Lawya, for just regular conversation, but with a biblical angle. Reality checks that must happen. Our Sabbath service, of course, we go into that Sabbath, We talk about the law. We go into it. We bring the biblical understanding like we're going to go into the 10 horns this Sabbath. But I like to use these Wednesday these Wednesday discussions as reality checks for all of us. A reshifting of our psyche towards the heavens for direction. Read on. Where you at, Elder Lawya?
That was the last verse.
It says, but they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. It's going to, guess what, folks? We have to now apply ourselves in these precepts with the Most High. It's the only way any of us will understand what's really going on right now. I thank the Most High, and until this day, I keep on saying it over and over. I thank the Most High that my mother listened to me. And I always use if you notice this, as a real life example. As a real life example, I'm glad my mother listened to me. Because my mother, she was getting worried looking at the television. And I'm like, Mom, focus on me. Focus on what I'm telling you. Because that television will make you believe something is wrong with you. And here it is. Mom, you're a senior. You're going to have certain things, that ain't all the way together physically because you're aging. But if you listen to that TV, it's going to make you believe, it's going to program you to believe that they're going to hit one of these symptoms of COVID-19 and you're going to wake up believing you have it. She had a little cough and say, I may have to go. When they were talking about go to the hospital, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. I say, Mom, I'll tell you what. Because, Mom, you have the right to do what you think is right. And I'm not going to stop you from doing that. Because I know through the Most High, He brings forth the issues of death. But I feel good knowing that whatever choices you make, I will be able to sleep with it because you have made that decision. But let me tell you this. If you go to that hospital being over 65 years of age with a cough and they put you on a respirator, understand right now that I will not be able to see you again because COVID-19 will not allow me to go into that hospital to not even pray over you. So I know you're making the decision based on what you're seeing on TV, but I'll tell you what. Say goodbye to your children now. Say bye now, Mom. I'll hug you, I'll pray with you, and I'll let you go. But know that I cannot go into that hospital if you're on a respirator. Right? And she called me today, happy as I don't know what. She says, you done saved my life again. I'm like, Mom, I didn't save your life. I'm giving you some information. Guess what? 2 of the people who told her that she was crazy, that she didn't know what she was talking about, that her son was crazy, folks, 2 of her, and there's nothing to brag about here. It's sad. 2 of the people, elderly, who told her that she was out of her mind, they're dead now. They was put on respirators and died. She's 100%, my mother's 100% healthy right now. Because what? During this time, only those who are in precepts will be sought for counsel and reasoning, understanding prophecy. And I spoke with her rationally, like, listen, Mom, I love you, but I can't stop you from making your own decisions. At least we have an opportunity to rationally talk this out and you make a sound decision. But understand, if you go over there and they put COVID on you, they won't allow me in the hospital. My mother's 100% healthy right now. Nothing is wrong with her. I told her, listen, go look at TV. Do not look at the news because the news is going to change every day until a time in which the president say the sheep can now go out and play. Once they get the numbers they've always wanted, they're going to tell the sheep, Y'all can go out and play now, and there's gonna be no more masks, and people are gonna wake up from their psychosis and start being nice to everyone again. Elder Lawya, anything?
Yes, sir. I mean, that's the reality. That's the reality. I realized that me personally, I haven't watched the news for a few weeks now, and you can tell the difference. Of course, even with watching the news, having the truth, you filter everything through a biblical perspective. Okay, but when you turn on the news, all you're getting is these consistent viewpoints of doom and gloom. The sky is falling. Everybody's going to die. Okay. This is all you're getting from the news, with absolutely no solutions to the problem. So if that's the only thing that you're being inundated with on a daily basis, eventually you're going to take on that spirit of doom and gloom.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to die. The sky is falling. With not even watching the news for the past 2 weeks, any COVID-19 news, I mean, the spiritual, I guess you would say, burden that lifts off of you. Of course, understanding we're in the last days, but it takes away that spiritual burden of all this stuff that they're just putting on people through their, the magicians at work with the magic wand, just painting this brush of darkness. And I think a lot of people would benefit from actually just turning off the televisions and opening up their Bibles and reading and linking into the Most High and understanding where He plays His part in all of what we're seeing in these last days.
Exactly. And exactly. So what we're going to do, the sheep is sound asleep. And like I say, it was deep what I witnessed today, Lawya. It was a white guy working at Home Depot. It seemed like he'd been there for probably a few years. This guy had to be all of 5. He had to be like 4'11", 130 pounds, up against a guy as big as Shaq, saying, "Stop. You can't pull down your mask in here." So, I mean, it's I don't know, man. I think this COVID-19 gives people delusions of grandeur also. It makes cats think that they're the Incredible Hulk or something. And I'm looking at this guy ready to barrel down on this, the guy that was working at Home Depot. And he's sitting there with the little gun saying, "You can't use this gun. You can't use this. Your mask is down." And the guy, 350, 6'5", grabs the orange thing to scan, and the little guy's holding with his foot dangling. "You can't do it. Your mask is down." And then he mugged the guy over to the side, says, "That's it. You're getting out of here." And I'm like, yo, I mean, this is something out of a rare comic right now. Will Ferrell has nothing on what I've seen today in the Home Depot. People think I'm laughing. Let me tell you, if I'd have filmed this today, Lawya, I believe this thing would have got at least 2 million or some, it would have went viral. The guy is holding on to the little gun, the scanner gun, while the dude 6 foot, he's like Shaq with the gun and his foot is dangling. "You can't do it. Your mask is down." Man, I pulled over the road on the way here, Lawya, to set up. This is why I was late. I'm sitting there pulling over the road. I can't drive because my stomach is busting from what I've just witnessed at Home Depot. How the government, through this thing, have turned everyone against each other. Even a 4'11" dude is going up against Shaq at Home Depot. And what's deep about it, Elder Lawya, the guy that was working at Home Depot, the little guy, didn't have a mask on. I didn't give you that part. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Trump, just come on out and just tell everybody they can come outside, please. The people have gone mad out here. Lord have mercy. Let me open up the lines here. Elder Gabar. Elder Lawya, I'm going to let Elder Gabar in with you real quick, all right? Hold on. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Trump, just come on and tell people they can come out and play, please. Let me bring Gabar on real quick. Elder Gabar. You there, Elder Gabar?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Elder?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. You can come on. Lawyers.
Okay.
Lawyers in with you. You can say something real quick. Let me hear. Make sure you sound okay.
Okay. Mic check 1 2.
Okay, you're fine. Go on.
Okay. All praise to the Most High. Yes, real quick. Just on the line back, what you were saying in regards of the scene that you actually you saw earlier in by the movie Kingsman. There was a scene that when you was talking about that, and I was seeing that there was a scene that stuck out to me with another movie. Maybe 10 years back, there was a movie called Batman Begins. There was a Batman and with the Joker, with the guy who died after the movie. I forgot this guy's name, but he was playing the Joker. And there was a scene that the Joker was trying to show the world or Batman, whatever, that the people are not civilized as they are, as they should be, or they masquerade themselves to be. And there was a scene that Batman was going back and forth with him, and the Joker said, you see these civilized people, things hit the fan, these people would eat each other. Now the theme of the movie, there was the final scene of the movie. He put 2 bombs, or he put 1 bomb in 2 boats, and he put 1 bomb. He put 1 boat was with prisoners.
Okay.
And there was another bomb with citizens. And both people had the detonator to each other's boat. So if I pull the trigger, if I'm in boat number 1, the other boat, the inmate boat, will explode. If the inmate boat will pull the trigger, I will explode. But we didn't know which one had the bomb. So the question is, the Joker said, well, if one of you guys don't decide, I'm going to blow up both of you guys. That was the whole thing. Now, the movie, what happened was that there was an inmate that took the bomb or the dictator and threw out the window, and then the other people did the same, and basically we'll die together. And then the room or the theme of the movie was, you see people really, when it comes down to it, they will do the right thing.
Okay. And
they prove the bad, evil Joker wrong. And it was funny that you mentioned that, because we're talking about not a elaborate scheme like a movie like the Joker that we would do, that you're gonna blow up. We're talking about a cough, a flu.
Yep.
And people are flipping out. Like you were saying, and you're right. I was laughing myself because I could visualize that of people becoming RoboCop now.
Yeah.
Because that's the government, and I'm gonna help the people and things of that nature. You're gonna see a lot of that, but unfortunately, the Joker was right in the movie. When things hit the fan, all these civilized people will eat each other.
Yep.
And there's no food. And Elder, you gotta see this movie called The Platform. Oh my God!
It's called The Platform.
Okay, this is the narrative.
Hold up! Hold up! Gabar, don't do it. Please don't give it away. Just tell me the name of it, and I'll discuss it next week. It's called what?
It's on Netflix. It's called The Platform.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it tonight. Don't tell me about it at all. But just give me.
You gotta look at it. Is the
Platform.
And Lawya, you gotta see it too. I see you laughing. It is insanely. It's. I can't even describe it. You got to see it, and maybe this could be a talking piece for next week. It's insane.
Hold up,
psychological.
Gabar. I got two things I want to talk on.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk on this one because during the week, because I know people are probably still, at their homes. I want to talk on this after seeing it, the platform. And also, I want to have a listen like me and Lawya did with the apologetics behind our backs, meeting with black pastors, telling them things about the Gathering of Christ Church that aren't true. Y'all don't know this, folks. We have
I saw that.
Listen, you see it? We have the apologetics setting up conferences, inviting black pastors in to warn them about the Gathering of Christ Church. Wait till y'all, and I'm gonna have a listening session where y'all can hear the lies they're saying on us. They're claiming that we say that there's reptilian aliens ruling the world. This is what they're telling black pastors in fear of black pastors coming into our church or listening to our doctrine. The apologetics are meeting with black pastors, and they say, okay, now we would like to talk about the Gathering of Christ Church, inviting them into conferences, folks. We have the audio. We have the video. You have to hear. I'm going to download it in case they take it down. Y'all have to hear this.
Well, you're downloading. Yeah.
I'm going to download it.
And we should sit down with our legal team. See if it isn't legal, violation here. I mean, I never heard this, David Icke?
Yeah. They're telling people
people. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, they're telling people that they're paying black pastors to come to the conference to lie to them about our church. They must be losing hard. I'll tell you that. But go ahead, Elder Gabar.
Yeah. So absolutely. But just check out the movie because it's just funny. Sometimes they I don't know if art is imitating life or life is imitating art sometimes with these movies and things of that nature. But it was just an interesting movie that I think you should watch. You'll understand after you see it. But anyway,
okay.
I think you're right. I think this is showing many things. It's a preview, and I think this goes back to the conversation I was having with my congregation on Saturday when we were having our private class online.
Yeah.
That this is the time that everybody has to examine themselves. How well they did. You have to give yourself a test, a mark from 1 to 10, in the State Department. How well will you do? After it's all clear, I told people this is going to probably clear in a month or two. Everything's going to be back to normal. But everybody should self-analyze what they did.
Yeah.
Because these are conversations I'm having in my regions. People talking about leaving. People talking about linking up with people that left already. I had to talk down people not to do it. People crying. People asking me to pray for them. This really is, and it was okay in regards to me praying for people. Please pray for me as well. But this actually is a reflection, and I would like to maybe after it's all said and done, the churches should have a roundtable discussion, a reflection, like, okay, what we did wrong, what we did right, what we found out about ourselves during this epidemic.
Well, listen, Gabar, I'm with you. Hey, Gabar, I love your patience and all that, but let me tell you, I'm not having no roundtable because people are showing who they are during this time. That people that we didn't know would have done certain things are doing it. So the whole thing is, I'm just sitting back, just like I'm watching what's going on in the world. I took a special attention to see how people amongst the body reacted to this. And I'm talking about one amongst another. And guess what? I'm going to tell you, 90% of what I've seen in the church was operating with flying, till this day, with flying colors. You know what I mean? But I was perplexed to hear even some people get online as if and say something about us as if I gave someone COVID-19 or something. It tripped me out. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. We're in it now. I can see it. I can see it. When it says many shall betray you, the love of many shall wax cold. Satan would create something and other people out there would find a reason to blame us for what happened to them someplace else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it was fine with me. I just prayed for it. I'm like, you know what? Okay, I can see this. This person panics. This person is calm. This person comes up with ideas to help people during times of trouble. This person is helpful to others during this time. You got other people who's ready to just run into the mountains. You have other without strategically thinking of anything. So I'm gonna tell you, folks, the best or the worst comes out in people in this. Anything you want to say before I open up the phones real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. And and to end, and this is up to you, Elder. People, this would be a question we put in the show today that maybe call in if you or wait to be to ask a question. What did they learn about themselves during this time?
Good.
Because I learned about myself.
That's good.
Just I'm just curious to hear what people say. If anything, maybe people were saying, I didn't learn anything other than the prophet is real.
Okay.
It could be, but I'm just curious what people learn about themselves doing this, travesty or issue or whatever.
Okay. Well,
and I yield with that.
Okay. Thank you, Elder Gabar. And you know what? I'm gonna place you on hold, and I can pull you in anytime. Just let me know, and we'll start it off with that question. What have you learned? Did you go crazy? What's going to happen if your job isn't on the other end of this? Okay. What are you going to do?
Amen. Amen.
Bless you, brother. Bless you, Elder. All right, let's go down the line. What I'll do is I'll take one call from Blog Talk, then I'll take another call, starting with Ramar, from the conference call. Let's start at Blog Talk. Shalom.
Shalom.
You're live.
My name is Iman. I'm from Ohio.
Yes, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Talk to me. What have you learned about yourself through this? And keep in mind, the sheep are sound asleep. What have you learned about yourself?
Okay, so first of all, I learned that I had trust issues with the Father. I really didn't trust him, and I doubted when he showed me things. And as I start seeing things unfold, I was like, wow, I had a dream about that, or I had a vision about that, but I didn't trust in what he was showing me. I always second guessed. And I also see that I'm not prepared physically, spiritually, or financially. I'm in a vulnerable space. But the positive that I have recognized in myself is that the Father has loved me enough to allow me to see these things and given me the ability to repent and to seek after him with my whole heart. And I praise him because for the 2 weeks before all this coronavirus, I had in my spirit to seek him. And I did just that. That's when I found you guys, actually. So it's only been a month that I've known about your teaching. I never heard of you guys before that. And I also learned that I have a heart of obedience, to hear his voice and know that I need to get myself together. So I only can wish from everything that I learned that I'll be in a position to help others that were like me. I'm in a work in progress, but I know there's others out there that are just waking up like me, truly waking up, because it's a difference between saying you're Israel, I'm Israel, and then really being awake, So, I pray that I'll be on the right path from this point on.
Let me ask you, sister, how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 49.
49. Are you married with children?
No.
Okay. So do you have children living with you? I'm going to tell you why I'm asking.
No, I don't have any children at all.
I've
never had children.
Okay. So you've been quarantined really to yourself, right?
I'm an SPNA, so I'm actually working.
Okay. All right. And so through this, You've been working at the hospital?
No, I work one-on-one with clients, and even that I saw some I can really feel what you were saying, because just today or yesterday, yesterday, a lady came to visit my client, and she counted 6 feet away from her to visit her in the house. And I only could laugh to myself.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, sister. I wanted to. And let me ask you, your children, do they believe? Do they know? Have you been putting them onto the videos and have been directing them into this truth?
I don't have any children.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've never had children.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you had children earlier. You don't have children.
No, I don't have. I must have broke up. No, I don't have children.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. All right. But you learned enough about yourself, and you've learned patience. And let me ask you, have you been witnessing what's going on out there with the people attacking, going against each other right now? Total mayhem in the streets.
Yes. I mean, even you get stares. Actually, the other day, I went in to go buy some seeds, and I just happened to forget to put my mask on, because I know people look at you crazy, and I didn't realize I didn't have it on, and everybody was looking at me, and I mean, just they couldn't even walk straight. And I said, "What's going on?" And I realized, oh my gosh, I don't have my mask on.
Oh, I'm sorry. And everybody looking at you like you can, like you a Unabomber or something. They thought you was a mass shooter without a mask.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sister.
And in Best Buy, okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry. I was writing things down, so I didn't hear a few things that she had to say in the midst of that. But I thank the Most High for her faith and her humility. Sister is very humble. And I just wanted to put this out there real quick. Elder Lawya, you there? Okay. Yeah, hold on. You there, Elder Lawya? I want to put this out there real quick. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Lawya, I wanted to show something real quick. I didn't have an opportunity to show because, the reason I wanted to bring the sister in initially who had the question is because I wanted to show brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Really. And hopefully we can show this sister too. The curse that must be broken within the children of Israel, within our nation right now. One of the curses that we have as a nation is that, and it's a shame, that sisters have taken authority and position in this earth beyond their spiritual means. And the church have weaponized our sisters against us unknowingly. And I'll tell you this, it's not on purpose, because a lot of our sisters mean well. They haven't been taught in the church what are their positions according to the Almighty. And I wanted to have that opportunity while that sister came in to show her something, to teach her what she haven't learned in this world is the spirit of humility. Every other nation's woman during a time of crisis know when to fall back. Every other nation except ours. They know when to fall back. And our sisters haven't learned that to some degree, their mouth have been in the way of their blessings. Let me read 1 Timothy's real quick. Elder Lodi, get this for me in 1 Timothy real quick. How can you go into Galatians or the New Testament and haven't read this? Paul wrote Paul wrote to Timothy too. So you can go to Galatians to try to bring something when you really should be learning. Because there's not a Christian out there who learned under European theology that can really break down Galatia. Don't even know who the Galatians were and how they got into Galatia. Elder Lawya, read 1 Timothy 2:7. And again, every Christian going forward, do not go into Galatia if you don't know what it is. Because you towing the slave master's doctrines water. And please don't carry that false European doctrine to us. Because the church wasn't built on Paul. It was built on Peter. And you don't understand Paul's writings. Learn again. Okay? Read it real quick, Elder Lawya.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 7.
Read.
Whereunto I am ordained a preacher and an apostle. I speak the truth in Christ and lie not, a teacher of the Gentiles in faith and verity.
Now, this is the same Peter that wrote to Timothy and wrote to the book of Galatia. You notice that Christians, women, rarely go to this scripture that Paul, these epistles Paul wrote. Read.
I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. Verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the women learn in silence with all subjection.
With what, Elder Lawya?
Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
With what?
With all subjection.
With all subjection. That means there's no need to come back and have the last word and bring your point. That's not subjecting yourself. Read.
12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
Because that's why women want to have the last word. Women that are out of order. They still want to usurp authority as if they know something. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Oh, I don't see it that way. Who are you? See? You must humble yourself to be guided. You must humble yourself. Because you are not the barometer to what's right or wrong according to the Most High's word. The Bible is. Read.
Suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man.
Nor to usurp authority over the man. Now, you notice, we're open in discussion when it comes to brothers and sisters. We're liberal with it. But we will not allow anybody, especially a woman, to come on our platform and try to usurp authority under the guise of having a question answered. You don't want a question answered if you already have the answer. If no one can come and give an alternative view otherwise without being cut off, that means you are coming in here trying to teach us what Galatia is saying. So you're not asking a question to learn. You're asking a question in defiance of what's being taught. Read.
13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Read. Read it again.
And for Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Adam was first formed, then Eve. Read.
Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Exactly. And I'm going to tell you, whether it be Kenneth Copeland, Joel Osteen, it doesn't matter what white preacher that's teaching out there Christianity. You'll never see one white woman calling into any of their programs, challenging their theology. even if they believe it's wrong. This, I'm going to tell you, this is something we have to fix as a nation. Sisters, you have many gifts, but you're not going to guide us out of this. Men will. The only way you can help us through this is through your humility. And in most cases, when teachers are teaching, your silence. Because there's another curse. When the Most High says, give honor to the woman as the weaker vessel. Sometimes than not, more times than not, you will lead with your emotions and how you feel. Okay? And the enemy understands this. And that's why Christianity, since slavery, have weaponized the women against the leaders. We're the leaders. Okay? We're the leaders. So you need to embrace that. If you want to learn, you must throw out everything you learned under slave Christianity first. And you can only do that by enacting silence. Next call. 212. Jump in there. 212.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. Talk to me.
Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Come on.
Okay. Elder. So, I just wanted to. I'm gonna make it quick because it's very interesting and great lesson going on. By the way. So I just want to talk about the world is indeed insane, Elder. I mean, I have not seen a family member. I went to the supermarket the other day.
It's just you got a lot of stuff going on back there.
Okay.
Am I playing in the background there?
Saying this, I can hear you well.
No, I'm hearing
My
myself.
husband has his on.
I'm hearing myself through your speakers, through your mic.
Okay, my husband lowered it down now. Is that better?
Okay, go on.
Okay, the water, Elder. Yeah, so I'm from New York, Brooklyn, and yeah, so basically, and I went to the supermarket, and had to stand on that line, and of course I wore my mask, and it's just funny how I didn't realize that on the floor, because I'm a person, when I go in, I normally know what I'm going to get, so I just zoom through the market. So I just noticed when I'm about to get on the line, the distance of how you have, to stay away from each other. So it was very interesting on each aisle, each cash checkout, so dealing with that. And then I, haven't seen my cousin in years and found out she's working, at the age nearby. So I normally during that time, you would want to hug somebody, right? And it's just the way she came at me, like she backed away, like I was diseased. And I was like, oh, wow, this is where we spoke to. Can't even hug my family members. So I respected her and I stayed away. But I'm not going to lie, I was a little hurt by that.
Okay, so you seen your cousin online and you attempted to hug her.
No, supermarket. That's outside. Sorry, that's outside the supermarket.
You seen her outside the supermarket?
Yeah.
Okay, was she working there?
And no, she's actually an aide, and she came to shop for her client, and came on the line, and I was coming out with my shopping cart.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was getting with Ramar because he's getting the conference call ready. So let's make this clear. She's not working there. Mm-hmm. You see your family.
No, go ahead.
She's not working there. You see your family member on your way there, and you go to hug her like you normally do. That's family. and she treats you like the plague?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Anything else? Hey, the world has gone mad. And guess what, sister? Here's what's deep. Any day now, Trump is going to tell her she can hug you.
She gonna listen to.
Any day now. Any day now, Trump is going to get on, he's going to get on TV and say, okay, it's okay for you to hug your loved ones now. That's scary. Thank you, sister.
I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll be out of here.
Go on. That's a shame.
Can you imagine that same day, Elder, that I came home with the shopping cart and everything, and then just like that, I started getting very, very sick. That just happened on Friday.
You started getting very,
and my husband
very
had
sick.
to take the shopping cart for me.
Sister,
oh yeah, that same day.
Okay, your phone is killing me, sister. I'm sorry. I thank you. I gotta put you on hold.
Okay.
It's good to hear you. Yeah, it's bad right now. It's good. All right, let's go to the conference line now. Hold on. Okay. I'm in on the conference line. All right, Ramar, let's go. The world is gone mad. The sheep are sound asleep and the world has gone mad. We're going to open it up. How has this ordeal under COVID-19, how has this changed you? What have you found out about yourself during these times? 340 area code.
Hello, Elder?
Okay. You're live. Let's go.
Hello? Hello, Elder? Hi. Hello?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. Oh, okay. Elder, with this topic, I'm so emotional in different ways. I wasn't going to speak on this. But when the lady that came in asking about Galatians came in, I was just thinking that this is an example of just all the craziness and weirdness. No offense to the lady. The reason why we are the way we are, you talked about the Home Depot shack dangling the little guy. That's a broad picture of the example of all the silly, weird things that I've been experiencing here. I mean, grown women verbally like attacking old men, grown tall men attacking short women, on and on. And this whole thing about humility is one of the things that I see that is part of this theater of the absurd, not the humility part, but not having it as a woman. It's like, know your place, be a shoe. You are a shoe, be a shoe. The whole time you were explaining, and there was agreement that yes, okay, I'm gonna listen. And with every moment, it wasn't a listening, ready to learn moment. It was, I'm ready to teach. And anything that you were saying to clear up the wrestling and inevitable destruction that comes with that wrestling was knocked down. I felt, and I think this is our problem. This is how we've been raised up to be in this society against our men. The man is speaking, listen, period. That's it. That wasn't what I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I don't really, sister, we'll leave that alone. Just give us what you called for. I think that was well taken care of there. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that was my emotional side of the weaker vessel coming out. Okay, but I just wanted to say that this thing that you were talking about leisure time and building spiritually is so true. And it makes a big difference in how people act indoors and outside. And, building that spirituality
you have to be wise as a serpent, yet harmless as a dove in order to navigate, this strange world that we're in. And I'm really understanding that verse now, just how important it is to go out there with wisdom and knowing that wisdom of that serpent and seeing how they operate in this great deceit, not to become that serpent, but just to watch them. So you know how to operate and navigate around the craziness, but being harmless. And for me, I really need to work on understanding who it is I'm casting my pearls to, because I tend to like to share with others the information, and just hearing who am I to cast my pearls to and who is the swine that I must avoid. That's something that I need to work on. So I pray for wisdom for myself and all those with eyes to see and ears to hear, so that we are not deceived and we could discern good from evil of the poor of us, of the poor. And I'm getting now clearly a great understanding of when that scripture goes, who is righteous, let him be righteous still, and who is filthy, let him be filthy still. And so knowing that I think helps me to now look even closer at how I must walk with wisdom and pray for it for us all. And that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it, sister. You always call with a good spirit. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sister. All right.
Okay, shalom. Take care. Bless you.
Shalom. And we're gonna see if we can get some brothers up in here. Sisters just, we got some sisters. Let's get some brothers up in here. 850 area code.
Hello.
Shalom.
Can you hear me?
Shalom. I can hear you loud and clear. Come on,
Shalom.
Let's go.
Okay. So I just wanted to state on when you said about drawing the sheep are just asleep. I work for the housing, and what I'm coming to find out at my position that they call is essential, it seems to me that the government is what they're doing is that they're making the people very dependent upon them. Right now, we have to reverse a lot of the charges that people normally would have to pay because they're losing all of their jobs. And it seems to me that if everyone loses their job that is on housing, they'll be set up for the mark of the beast really well by saying, I'll give you housing if you take this chip.
Okay, now when you say that,
and it's very
so give me some examples of what they're doing that would lead to those in housing being dependent on them. Give me some examples.
Okay, so for one instance, what they're doing is, if let's say I was on housing and I had a job. Normally, depending on how much money you make in the household, you have a portion of housing to also pay for the rent, and they try to get you to be weaned off of housing so that you can be self-sufficient. But what's happening here in the area where I'm working at in Florida, what's happening is that instead of us weaning the people off of housing, we're paying the entire amount of rent. We're even giving them checks for utilities. When at first they had a portion, but now they can't because they're being they're being laid off from their jobs. And if the government's goal was to save money, they're not very good at this goal, because right now they're pouring out more money in the housing department, especially with the people not being able to pay rent. We're paying all of the half portions. We're going back. We're backlogging things for people to pay rent for April, some as far back as March, because they stopped working at the beginning of March, and we're paying entire half payment.
Interesting. So what do you think this is going? So it seems as if they're going to make these people so dependent on them, on the government to pay everything, to a degree in which any social service or any demand the government have coming down the pipeline, the majority of our brothers and sisters are going to be between a rock and a hard place. They're going to be almost forced to take whatever implementation the government forces on them.
Exactly. That's how the setup looks to me. And it makes me extremely sad every day I go to work, because I see a lot of the majority of them are our people. Unfortunately, the mass majority is our people, and they're just looking at this as, okay, my rent is being paid, but it's like, you understand, you're being set up. You're being set up because you think that your rent is being paid and you don't have a worry in the world, but as soon as they give you a choice, get this chip or you no longer have a place to stay. And a lot of them have children and they're single parents in these households. As soon as they say, okay, you take this chip or you out on the street, they're going to be lining up saying, inject this chip.
Okay, and I take it that the people that are under your particular demographic are predominantly the poor that you're actually working with.
Yes. And they work in a lot of minimum wage jobs.
So what are you doing? Because you must be in a compromised position. I'm glad you called right now. What are you doing? Are you in a position to help warn people, let people know that are dependent on the government what's to come? Are you in that position to actually give them some insight to what's really happening?
Well, I'm like the young lady that stated she needs to pray about when to cast the pearls before the swine, because there are some that I can give information to and they listen. But then there's others that I have a feeling my supervisor will be getting a call. I'm not afraid of losing my job, because I am not going to compromise anything that I have to do for the most time for a job, because I've lost jobs before because of the economy. So that's not the issue. The issue is that the people, I am afraid that the people don't understand how they're being set up. And they really are being set up really bad.
Well, I heard, thank you, sir. I'm going to place you on hold, because what I've heard is that a lot of checks, I'm going to place you on hold. Any last words before I switch over?
90 seconds.
No, sir, that was all I wanted to say.
Thank you. We have a lot of more calls. Hold on there on the conference line, because we have brothers that's coming in. A lot of checks are being transferred right now under the Trump administration into people's bank accounts, which will give the majority of the population within the United States some false sense of security. And believe it or not, like the
60 seconds.
Like the sister's saying, there's nothing they're giving us altogether that will not come at some expense, some cost. And we're gonna deal with that on the other side. Hold tight. We'll be right back with the conference line. You don't want to miss the conference calls. Hold tight. Bible.
10 seconds.
Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. (917) area code.
Shalom, elders.
Shalom. How are you?
Great. So the question of the night, I guess, is, what are we doing to prepare, and also, like, how are we working through this whole system? Honestly, at this point, I've learned that people are not patient. People, they want to go back to the way that things were, but I guess because I'm in the truth and I've been in the truth for a little while now, that I know that we are not going back to what has been the norm before this COVID-19. And, because we've been talking about this for so long, it's like, okay, you know what? We've been talking about it. We've been hearing about it, especially those who attend the Hebrew Bible Academy, which is really great this past Sunday, Elder. Thumbs up. Thank you. And, I just see where we're going, and I just know that this is only the beginning of the trouble. So I know that eventually I'm going to have to lose my job. My husband knows he's going to have to lose his job. And, being that I work for a union, I see what's going on in the healthcare industry. And right now they won't let you into any hospital, any medical institution unless they check your temperature. So I know that the next step, once this COVID-19 dies down, or when they allow it to die down, I know that they're not going to allow any healthcare workers to work there unless they get vaccinated. And then when they actually institute the mark of the beast, then they're probably most likely going to be the first ones on the line to get it, because they actually are front line with healthcare and with patients, quote unquote, see where this is going and where the future is going. So because I already know, I know that, I have to be humble, I have to be patient, and I have to make sure that, most importantly, that I keep my mind on the Most High.
Exactly. Let me ask you, what form of work you do, sis? What is your work? Are you one of the essential workers? Talk to me. What's going on with you?
Okay, well, I'm a healthcare worker. So I'm a union organizer for a healthcare workers in the institution of one of the hospitals.
Okay, now let me ask you, what exactly is going on in the hospitals right now? Because what we're hearing is that there's a lot of death and carnage in the hospital, and that there's no room within the hospitals. Is that what's happening in your particular facility?
Oh, good question. Matter of fact, I was just there today. Well, I can't tell you what is going on is that a lot of my members are getting sick because, they have direct access to people who are sick. However, my opinion, everybody they're claiming is either getting ill of COVID-19, or they feel like they're dying, or they're succumbing to COVID-19. But you mean to tell me that out of everybody who's coming into the hospital, nobody's coming in for a heart attack, nobody's coming in for a stroke, nobody's dying of any of these, nobody's shooting or nobody's getting shot or stabbed or whatever the case may be. Everybody's coming in for the same thing and dying of COVID-19. What I do know is that they're stating that so many of these COVID patients are coming into where they have to make what used to be conference rooms. They have to now make those into areas for beds. So my problem with this is that it's not believable. I believe that people are getting sick.
Hey, sister, this is what I'm asking you in particular, though. They're saying that the hospitals are filled with COVID people. Is that indicative of what you're seeing in your hospital facility, is what I asked.
Okay. I'm seeing that they're bringing in people from other places. So they are bringing in bodies, patients. They are.
You say they're bringing them in from other places. Are people walking in? Give us an insight. We're not in the hospital. Give us an insight of what's happening. Are they bringing people in, or are people walking into the hospital?
Okay. So I know what they're doing is that they're bringing in other patients from other hospitals that are smaller. So I know, for example, they're having mobile units bring people who are sick, and they're transporting them by buses. or mobile units, and they're bringing them into the hospital that way because they're claiming that other institutions can't hold the capacity of the numbers of people coming in. I do know that a lot of people who are getting sick versus going to a doctor, because a lot of the doctor offices are closed or the clinics are closed, they're jamming up the emergency department rooms. Now, that's always been the norm, but now anybody who feels like they get a cough, oh my God, I feel like I have COVID, and they just go into the emergency room. So it depends on what area you're talking about. Is more people coming into the emergency room? Yes. Are more people coming into to this hospital that I organized? Are they coming in because they're being transported from other places? Yes. However, I don't see where people are dying, quote unquote, from this COVID.
All right.
I just see that there's people coming in with other ailments, and they're claiming that it's COVID-19.
All right. Thank you, sister. I needed that. Thank you. I appreciated that. 336 area code, 574 area code. Lord have mercy.
Hello? Shalom, Elder Rawchaa.
Okay. Shalom.
Can you hear? Yeah, I just want to, what I've been doing during this time, brother, is really just seeking the Most High more and repenting. And I've been making relationships better with my father and just giving my mama them advice. And whenever the doors open up, I told the Most High I would not get back comfortable, and I'm gonna stay closer to Him than I ever been. And I had to go because I was, like I said, I was a little comfortable reading my Bible every now and then, praying every now and then. But when this hit, he told me, fear came up on me, and I had to go and pray. And he said, don't have no fear. He said, you must forget who I am. You must forget who you said you believe in. So being honest, me and my family, my household, we've been praying. We've been on one accord. We listen to y'all. I'm on the conference call. I'm on the Bible study. I'm just doing everything to please the Most High from now on. And I'm not getting sidetracked anymore. I'm staying faithful to Him, and I'm going to continue to obey Him. And I haven't been out like that because I just been staying in the house. Like I said, I'm going to be honest with you, brother. Everything you tell us to do, I've been following. I've been being obedient because I know that the Most High allow you to be a shepherd over me and teach me, and I'm teaching my household. So whatever you say, I'm doing. And I was just telling my sister, I said, well, my elder said whenever these doors open up, and I'm not even baptized yet, brother. And I was just telling her, I said, well, my elder told me whenever these doors open up, we need to go get passports. She gonna say, bruh, you just need to stop listening to people online. I'm like, no, sis, this ain't no anybody. This is the man of the Most High. So I'm going to listen to him because he's a servant of the Most High. This ain't no anybody on YouTube that I'm listening to, that I'm following. Now, I know that this is a man of the Most High, and I always was a firm believer in the Bible. But when I ran into you and when I started going to the gallery, I know this was the truth. And I don't care what nobody say about y'all, brother. I know y'all got the truth. And what I understand now about life, when you got the truth, they gonna say it's wrong. They gonna have something to say about it because they know y'all got the truth. And I want to share one more thing. When you were mentioning the pastors, how they kind of tell the pastor not to listen to you. I was in the church fully. They tried to make me youth pastors or whatever. So even when I left the church, I still had these pastors' number. So what I did, when I started following you, I started sending them videos about the fall of the black church, who we are as Israelites, the deception of the Rawchaa. I was sending these brothers these videos just to see what they gonna say. Nobody never got back to me. So I just give all praise to the Most High, and I'm gonna keep on praying for the body, keep on praying for the elders, and I just thank the Most High for y'all, brother. I really do.
Let me ask you, brother, where you from?
I'm from Memphis. We talked before. I'm the blind man. We talked before. I'm living right now in Winston-Salem, but
You're from where?
Well, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, but I live right here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay. Well, brother, thank you for all your support.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your support. And on top of that, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you for your perseverance. And guess what? It's not for all ears. The Most High, even Christ says, he that have an ear, let him hear. Don't let anyone frustrate you.
Let him hear.
Stay on this path, brother. All right. I appreciate it.
Most definitely, Elder. I thank you too. Yes, sir. All right.
All right, Elder Gaji, come on in.
Hey, Shalom, Elder, Shalom.
Shalom. How you doing, Captain?
Hey, I'm blessed by the best.
Let's talk to me. What you want to talk about?
Man, I'm just, taking in the broadcast, man. I had a lot of things on my mind when you just came on.
Come on.
The sheep's asleep. Let's check it out.
Come
on. I've been having this conversation all day, saying that, it's amazing. It's amazing. And even when Elder Gabar came in before, what he was saying about that movie in Batman, I am shocked, right? That I have not. Well, I have seen it, but I'm shocked that I've not seen people not saying, listen, let's just kill all the people with COVID-19 so that we can just be back to normal. Because people have lost their minds. People have gone crazy. And here's the thing about it, Elder, man, it's not just in America. You're talking about that deputizing. I have a police officer in the room with me right now. Brother Patrick, who else can arrest you right now? Yeah, the vet can arrest you, right? The vet, the fireman, the garbage man can arrest you. Who else?
What? Are you kidding me?
Listen, Jamaica had deputized a whole heap of people. And I mean, I know you were saying it half-heartedly, jokingly, but Jamaica has actually deputized the vets, the fireman, the wharf worker. They have deputized people. People can actually lock you up right now if they suspect you got COVID-19. And this is no joke. You can look it up.
The fireman can lock you up?
The fireman, the vet, I think the garbage man can do it. The nurse can lock you up. I have a police officer sat right beside me now, telling me all the people who can lock you up right now. You with me? Listen, when you're driving, and right now, what they're doing right now, they're bringing out thermometers to check people in traffic now. So they're pulling you over, or they're having these military checkpoints where they're actually checking the people. Like checking them. And yo, Ella, check this out. With everything going on in China, right? Looking at China and what you're seeing them doing to the Israelites. And I'm going to say Israelites because they're saying African broad brush now, but these are Israelites. All right? These are Israelites in China right now that they're beating. Someone sent me a video earlier of them actually beating a brother over there. And I'm saying, where are the pastors, right? Say that these our brothers them there on the continent of West Africa and the Nigerians, big in church. Where are the pastors them who've been taking the money? Where are they? Why haven't they said anything? Where are the African leaders, the delegation to say, listen, here's the deal. We're not gonna deal with no more Chinese products until we get at least an apology. At least an apology for the treatment of our people. Where are they? And I'm asking a question knowing that I'm not going to get an answer from anybody. Why? Because your politicians, your presidents, your prime ministers, and your pastors, church and state have all sold you down the river. They have all sold you out. And the sleeping sheep need to wake up. Because why? They're going to be served up to the wolf. You with me? They're getting served. Ella, let me grab my Bible. Brother, turn that light on for me real quick.
Come on. Let's do it. Hold up. Hold up. Don't worry about it. Ramar, I found the conference. Don't worry about it. We're bringing them in. Let's do it. I'm listening.
Yeah, let me grab something real quick, Elder. I'm in the book of Zechariah. All right? I'm in Zechariah, the 11th chapter, all right? I'm going to start at verses 4. All right, Zechariah 11 and 4. Let me read it here. It says here, thus saith the Most High Power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose oppressors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
That's big. Go on.
So, Elder, we see Chinese people and all these other people coming into our communities and getting rich. All right? While we are being fed to the wolves, we are dying here. Verse 6 reads, For lo, I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, saith the Most High. But lo, I will deliver the men, everyone, into his neighbor's hand, and into the hand of his king, and they shall smite the land, and out of their hand I will not deliver them. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's going on, Elder. These people getting rich. This COVID-19, the hospitals, right? And you talk about the ventilators before. The hospitals are getting paid for everyone that they diagnose with COVID-19, and they get more money for the people that they put on the ventilators. Okay? Now, I have spoken to brothers and sisters within the church that are baptized within the church, and I've asked them the question, is this COVID-19 real? Are you seeing people come to the hospital with COVID-19? And I'm hearing, yes, people are coming to the hospital, but we're not sure if the
Thank you for choosing freeconferencecall.com. You're helping people around the world.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Listen.
26
Yeah, I'm hearing something in the background here.
Yeah, that's the conference call. I got it now. I'm in it now. Go on. I'm listening. Go ahead. 26 people.
So they're saying that people are coming in to the hospitals, but they're just giving them a diagnostic. So even though we do not know what is the proper way to diagnose COVID-19. This is HIV, for crying out loud. Okay? This COVID-19 that they're telling the people that they have. And listen, I put a disclaimer out there. I'm not gonna argue whether or not there's a disease going around, but I'm saying though, what is the way that you diagnose COVID-19? Because now every day I'm hearing that, okay, with COVID-19, it can reoccur. You can get it again. So what? So what's the purpose of the vaccine then? That you're looking to bring if I can get it again? Huh? The next thing here, Elder, is I'm losing my train of thought here.
Let me ask you some questions in particular.
Go ahead.
Okay, real quick. As far as Jamaica goes,
yes.
What has changed? Because I remember Jamaica in what you would call the Caribbean islands, tightly knit Christian societies, family oriented, very close. Okay, as far as that Christian foundation within Jamaica and the islands, what has changed in Jamaica since COVID-19?
What has changed since COVID-19? Well, they have locked down the place, and normally you would see a pushback. Okay, Jamaicans are rebellious, raven wolves, but there is no pushback. People are begging for the government to come in. That's a change.
What about the supermarkets? What about the food? What about the lines? Social distance? Because in America, what I'm witnessing here in America is a phenomenon.
Yes.
Because you have to realize America is really almost a standing army to some degree, with the right to bear arms and all that. And what I'm seeing right now is not indicative of a free country that stands and claims that they would fight.
But I tell you why though, Elder. that TV, that propaganda and fear mechanism that they're using is actually working because the people are afraid. People are actually afraid that, I only found this out a few nights ago that the Jamaican news network is also an affiliate of CNN. So on the news, they're not giving you local news in Jamaica. They're giving you CNN news. And whatever propaganda that they're pushing there in the States, it's being pushed here. And it's working. People actually believe that there's this invisible sickness going around and it's killing millions of people. They actually believe that when the common cold, okay, has killed more people in similar period of time of the year, in past. So the fear mechanism, Elder, that they're pushing is working. I said to tell Jamaicans that they need to be inside for 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and people were inside by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You never expect that. No, yeah, America have the right to bear arms, but you best believe, man, Jamaicans are armed. You get me? They might not have the right. It might not be quote unquote legal, but they are armed, and they're just quiet. Now I'm watching it, and I'm saying, how long are they gonna be quiet for? In America, I'm watching that as well. How long are they gonna stay before they actually, something? We don't believe this anymore. Because check this out. Bill Gates come on to the BBC, right? And makes a claim that he's a medical expert. How the hell did Bill Gates become a medical expert? Huh? How did Bill Gates become a medical expert? And I'm saying it's just a matter of time before people start to connect the dots and realize what's really here. I tell you what, Elder. I tell you what I have not heard, I have not seen in Jamaica. I have never seen so many people talking about this vaccine linking to the mark of the beast. A lot of people in Jamaica are talking about that. A lot of people are taking the stance that, listen, we will not get vaccinated.
That's good. That's good. Now let me ask, what are the pastors saying in Jamaica right now? Because to me, right now in America, it seems as if the pastors are totally silent.
Same thing, Elder.
I'm trying to see where is the Christian. Where's the Christian leadership here? Where's the solidarity? We're living in the most prophetic time since all of Bible's history right now. And listen, I'm waiting for a well-known, backed preacher within the Western world. I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say that we're coming into a time in which the mark of the beast will be implemented.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Hold up, right now it's total silence. I'm waiting for TD Jakes. I'm waiting for Creflo Dollar. Someone who claimed they know they're trying to challenge us on grace in the law.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no better time to say, listen, to show everyone in the earth, regardless of religion, that the Bible is prophetically correct. If you're a Bible man, there's no better time to use this COVID thing as an example to what the Bible said would happen. And listen, I don't even hear pastors talking about the Antichrist.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they're going quiet. Quiet. There's quiet. There's no pastor anywhere is saying anything. And I tell you what, Elder, when I go into Revelation, and it tells you about the saint who died for the word of Christ, and it tells you that in the Bible that
check it out.
You hear me, Elder?
No. Someone asked, why are we waiting to hear from the false teachers? Well, I think your comment answered the question. Someone says, why are you waiting to hear from the false teachers? I think your comment embodied the answer.
Hey, check this out.
Like what Bible man wouldn't stand on the Bible's authenticity in the most prophetic time, in the most prophetic time of world's history?
Mm-hmm.
T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, regardless, these people claim to be Bible men who believed in Christ and the faith of Christ and the grace of Christ. But they're not teaching Christ is coming with the mark of the beast. You know, with the mark of the beast is not too many years away now, folks. I mean, we are one strike away from Iran and the Tin Horns getting full power. We're that close to the mark of the beast being implemented, but yet they're saying absolutely nothing. Go ahead, God.
Yeah, man. With that, we know who they serve it. We know who the master is. Like I was saying, I'm looking at the scriptures, and when the scriptures say that they're gonna come after us, I know why. You know why, Elder? Because we are gonna be the ones prophesying against what they're doing. We're gonna be the ones standing with the Bible. That's why they're gonna come at us. I'm looking at it in the Elder, and I'm saying, yo, why would they come at us now? Why? Because we are the only ones that's gonna hold the Bible up and go, yo, listen, you the devil the Bible spoke about. We are the only ones gonna do it. Your pastor's not doing it. Your pastors have already sold you down. Your pastor's been bought and paid and been getting paid for the longest while. So then no, the only obstacle right now between the beast and implementing his mark fully, it is us. And that's why he sent out the Jesuits, and that never worked. And that's why he sent out, the assassins. It never worked. None of it worked. None of it can stop it. The problem is us. The problem is what we are bringing. Why is it that I am subscribed to A Gathering 144 and my notification does not come on until the broadcast has gone over an hour? Why is it every time when I'm doing a broadcast from the GOCC UK channel, as soon as I start to go into scriptures, my internet goes fuzzy? Why?
I know why.
Huh? Why? And I'm not making this up. And I'm not the only one. A lot of people been messaging me saying that, yo, listen, they don't get the notification until late. Why? Because we have been censored. We are the only people in the earth right now bringing and highlighting what evil is going on. Because why? The devil has appeared as an angel of light. These politicians and government are coming in as if they're looking to help you. But no, it's total destruction. And people are lining up for it. The sheep is well asleep. And I see it, Elder. Oh, okay. All right, one sec. Well, I mean, Elder Lawya, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. You said keep going. You stepped away for a moment.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm saying I can understand. I can see fully. I can see clearly why they come after the saints. I can see why. Because it's only the children of Israel that's going to be standing up with this, with the gospel of Christ, and letting the people then know that, yo, listen, broad is the way to destruction. So when you see everybody headed that way, lining up with the government to get vaccinated, to get chipped, okay? And let me tell you something right now. You see the rice grain microchip that we see out there? Child's play to what they really have going on. There are some things right now that when they hook some things out of a science fiction flick, where they're hooking up with a wiring you, making a drilling a hole in your head. Okay?
Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Yes, sir. No, I was just saying that when you look at the rice grade microchip that they have out there that people are taking, right? That is child's play to what they really have and looking to roll out. The cybernetic cyborg type of thing where they drill a hole in the back of your skull and insert a chip there. That's there right now. They're doing it on the Tesla.
Hey, Gotcha. Okay? Hey, Gotcha. Check this out real quick, right? Because we're not gonna like, and I'm with you. I'm gonna show you how we don't even have to go far-fetched into this. And I need you to check this out, Gotcha. Lawya. Listen real quick. That's why I put Lawya in real quick. Lawya.
Yes, sir.
You there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say something now.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Lawya. Do you remember years ago, 2009? And I know Ramar can remember this too. I said, be careful. And I said this on the street. That what they're going to do, is near the time to go against Iran, they would begin to let the prisoners loose to actually get the RFID chip and be fully pardoned if they would be willing to enlist and fight in the next war. Remember me saying that, Lawya?
Yes, sir.
I said, listen, on the street, I said, listen, they're going to start releasing prisoners and give them a full pardon if they're willing to get chipped and go into the next war. I said that in 2009. Now, check this out. Why was I able to say that? Or what made me say that? Because when you look inside those scriptures in Revelation, it says, rich or poor, free or bond. Mm-hmm. Free, or whether you're prisoners or if you're walking around free. And you notice strategically right on time, as if they cared about prisons, they had Meek Mill come out a year in advance strategically for what? Prison reform. As soon as they did that, and they had all these synagogue people behind him, in my mind, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be deep. I'm like, it's going to be deep if they start releasing prisoners. Because a lot of these prisoners who are going to be released, folks, aren't going to let you know that they were injected. They're not even going to let you know why do you think they started with the ankle bracelets, for folks, to track people? And one thing about the RFID, Elder Rawchaa, also allows people to do what? Gauge your temperature. They did this with the NFL a few years ago. What did they do with the NFL? They claimed they wanted to just to watch the players' hydration levels. And they had the football players in camp take a pill. And that pill would actually allow the doctors to monitor their hydration, their heart rate, their blood level, all of that for the football players. So now it's no wonder that they're implementing something with the RFID in which they can actually now say, listen, we can now bring sports back and all that if you're willing to comply. With the RFID, we'll know, listen, with this chip, Gotcha, we'll know who has COVID. We'll know who has fever. We'll know who's sick. Rich, poor, free, bond. COVID is actually the beta test for the RFID. And guess what? They've now put all corporations online with it. We said this in 2009, folks. 2009. And guess what, folks? Through the Spirit of the Most High will allow, when he says, come out of my people, he will allow a time for us to come out. That's coming. There will be a respite from this in which the majority of the world will go back normal, but they're going to run back into their life. They're going to run to consume or try to get back the world they once knew. And folks, the righteous at that time is going to have to now work together, knowing that the next time it rolls out, there will not be this will not be a test. They're just putting in let me tell you, they're putting in the grid, the complete grid that will be permanent once the mark of the beast is implemented. And guess what? Prisoners, they're gonna be able to let prisoners go, because the prisoners are going to be chipped and used in the army. Them guys been working out for years, not for what you think they were working out in jail for. They're gonna be letting murderers out, violent offenders, all of that, if they're willing to be pardoned and fight in the war, folks. That's the time we're coming in. Now, Gadget, I need you to bring one more word. Then now, since I got this conference call, I need to bring some of these conference people in.
No, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'll fall back and continue and continue. If I have anything, I'll just jump back in.
Okay, well, the conference line is up. I think it's working. I'm going to pray and I pray. I hope it works. Gadget, I'm going to keep you in so you can answer calls with us. Come on in the conference line. Come on, Ramar. I hope it works. Are you with me, Ramar?
Okay, you can hear me. Let me go ahead and bring Stephen in from Puerto Rico.
Bring him in. Come on.
I can hear you. Come on, man. You killed me.
Well, I'm here. Stephen from Puerto Rico. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, I'm in the air. Shalom, elders. Shalom to everybody. I'm Stephen. I'm from Puerto Rico, from Spanish Christ Church. Just here. Everybody good?
We're good. Come on, talk to us.
Hello to everybody. I've got you on YouTube, but I got you a little value on here too, just in case. I just wanted to say about your question you asked about what's going on after COVID-19 here in Puerto Rico.
Come on.
And let's put it like this. It's actually pretty worked up that everybody's actually, instead of they're getting a little bit scared. Let's put it like this, really scared. And that scare here in Puerto Rico is coming up to people getting angry. But for what I'm seeing, and that's just that it's just that people are actually starting to look up, just like you've been talking in your videos, Elder. Like everybody's actually looking for information and everything. But the thing is that what I'm trying to say about it is that it's just that that's all they're doing. They're looking for information, and nobody is like, like, hey, it's good. That's part of it. You're actually being alert of what's going on around you. But what are you doing to protect yourself? What are you doing to protect from what's actually going on? And I just want to say about this is that, well, I've been about to say since March, and all I can say is I was doing the same thing, but people should actually start looking in the Bible, not just hearing us in the videos, because that's all they're doing. They're hearing the videos, they're looking at the videos. Oh my God, I understand. Good. But that's just not about it. That's not even half the battle. All I can say about this, because I can't hear you, Elder, just in case I have you on YouTube, but it's just that I will suggest to people to please not just go ahead and just keep looking on COVID-19, not just that. I'll suggest people to look on the Bible, look for something, keep looking, not just looking at videos, keep practicing, because it's a road that we must follow. And that's all I have to say about it, actually. And just to put it like this, because I'm just a simple student, I don't know much about the word, but one of my favorite things of a verse that I like is Proverbs 13:20. He that walk with the wise man shall be wiser, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. All I'm trying to say with this is Don't be with the people that are actually always being, oh my God, alert, can't be this, can't be that. People here, it's not just about that. It's about the word. It's about the word that is in the Bible so we can prepare ourselves for the end, because the judgment, it is coming. And where are we? Where are we right now? Just looking at them, that's what they want. That's what they want us to keep looking at the government and everything, to high concentration. That's why I like the title today. The sheep are sound asleep. Yeah, you're right. You just kind of, you think you're actually waking up, but you're not. You're not waking up at all. You're just kind of like in another dream, waking up from another dream. That's it. Because they have you right where they want you. And that's about it. People should actually start taking serious these videos. Not just looking at it like, oh my God, the elders is right. Oh my God, the elder this. No, that's not it. That's not here what we're making these videos for. We're making this because God is going to save us. He's coming for us. And what are we doing? We're just being alert? That's not the right thing to do. I'm a student, and I want to follow that road. That's all I'm saying to everybody that's hearing me. Puerto Rico, Spanish people, English people, to everyone. It's not just about COVID-19 or about what's going on in the government. That's not the fight. Believe it or not, they want us to fight back at them so they can actually push on. And that's not the right thing. Again, I don't want to take too much time on this. This is actually all I have to say. And again, people, please, if you want to wake up, just wake up. This is just half the battle. The tip of the iceberg, people. Come on. We need to study. We need to know the word. We need to know God's word. Because when he comes, what? He's not going to ask you about the COVID-19. He's not going to ask. No, he won't.
Yo.
People are scared. And we understand that. I got friends literally coming up at me asking for questions. And I'm still studying. You know what? I'm still studying. I'm talking to them. They need to study too. We need to be there. We need to be strict. We need to do everything we have in our power to study that. Because you know what? At the end, we have so much sin in the world. Whoa. We need to cleanse ourselves up, people.
All right.
Because not everybody's going to be safe, and we need to understand that.
Okay. All right. Hey, brother. Hey.
We need to really get clean.
Hold on, brother. Hold. I got to make something happen here. Ramar.
Yes, sir.
All right. Put this brother on hold real quick. Put him on hold.
Okay.
Because I got to let people know what's going on right now. When that brother, Ephraim, came on with that passion to quantify what this is, it all came to me. When the Most High said at the very end through Christ, he would put those two sticks together, Judah and Ephraim. They have tried to separate us for so long, but the 12 tribes of Israel, in the midst of all this, way bigger than COVID, the greatest prophecy, the greatest thing that's going on in this earth right now is that the 12 tribes are coming together. We're coming together. And see, they would rather have COVID and all that on the news to overshadow the power of the Most High.
Sister.
Come on, brother. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Rawchaa, are you there?
Shalom.
Shalom. Talk to me.
The floor is yours, sister.
All right, come on.
All right. Shalom, elders. This is Deacon Mayaka Ali's wife in Houston. I just had some things that I wanted to share real quick. I'll be quick. All right. I just had some testimonies really quick. One, I wanted to say that the Most High has put it on my spirit like a couple of months ago to really like do better with my diet and exercise and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up getting with a couple of sisters in the church, and I was like, man, y'all, like, you know, Most High put it on my spirit, just so having the Most High put it on this spirit too. So we've been grinding, like we've been studying and fasting and praying, and I lost 27 pounds, and other sister lost 20 pounds. Like we really just been getting it in. And so I didn't know why, you know, I was like, okay, I know I need to lose weight or whatever, but I didn't know why. But just so happened in the midst of all of this craziness. So I'm like, okay, Most High, now I see, you know. And so this month is a month I put aside to really focus on my spirit. And so I've been just fasting, and it's a sister that I normally fast with. And she was like, I got another sister that I want you to fast with. So this is where my testimony come in. I don't know. I can't hear anybody, so I don't know if I'm just talking to myself or what. But anyway, so there's a sister that I had previously had an issue with. We had a Matthew 18. We ended up doing a counsel with, you know, each other, and we just decided not to work together. So that was the sister that was brought up when the sister that I normally fast with said, let's do a fast with this sister. I don't know if I'm being confusing or whatever. But anyway, so we ended up doing the fast together. Me and that sister that I had previously had an issue with, and not the one that I normally fast with. And just so happened we did a 5-day dry fast together, constantly praying together, sending each other scripture, letting each other know when we were weary. Like the Most High just set it up so perfect that we were just vulnerable. We just had a really realistic conversation with one another that led to the fast. And all throughout the fast, we really were just very open and honest. And it was so crazy because, oh my God, out of all the sisters, this is the one that he wanted me to do this with. So I just wanted to kind of encourage the sisters. One, you know, Proverbs 31:17 stood out to me. You know, she girded her loins with strength, and she strengthened her arms. So come on, y'all. We got to do this. We got to get fit. We got to, down the south, we eat bad. You know, we don't exercise. Come on, y'all. We got to do that. So like I told y'all, like I have a whole bunch of little bitty kids. I have three little bitty kids, and I have an older son, but I have 3 kids under 4. And if I can do it, I homeschool them. I do everything by my, you know, with my husband, of course. But like y'all, if I can lose 27 pounds in 2 months, y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. It's no excuse. But also, make sure y'all are good with y'all offenses, because this sister and I, like this, the Bible says no days without labor amongst. After you do a 5-day dry fast with somebody, you know that person. So that's all I wanted to say. Like, just really tune into what the Spirit is saying. Really open yourself up. Really be obedient to what He's saying. I'm not saying just call everybody and say, hey, do you got a problem with me? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying really just listen to the Spirit, because the Spirit worked that out to where I know that's my sister. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, sister. We really appreciate it.
The water, sister.
Really appreciate it. And what the sister said is important, that we take this opportunity to mend fences. All right, before we go.
All right, so we have.
Hold up, before you go to the next one. Let me before we go to the next one, just keep it where we need to keep it, dealing with what we're dealing with in the earth today. Anyone that tell you that it's okay to follow what the world is saying in this time, keep in mind, these are the same people that's going to tell you it's okay to take the mark of the beast. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. There's no one out there that's standing on faith and who really believes in Christ going to be out there telling people, well, it's okay to take this and take that, not even realizing the damning implications of those choices, the sicknesses that might come from that, the marking, if you are test positive for one of these things, what might come from that, the death, if you take a vaccine that have side effects, what may come from that. Any religious leader that tell you that it's okay to take it, make sure you let them know, well, listen, since you said it's okay that we can choose one way or the other, you and your family take it. Okay? You be our guinea pig, because the leader is not supposed to just open it up where the sheep can get harmed. Okay? You're at the watchtower. If anyone, you will take the sacrifice first if you're the leader. So don't put out anything for those brothers and sisters you're not willing to go out and first test it yourself. So folks, watch out for these leaders that out there who claim to follow the Bible, that are being liberal in this situation right now and claiming, well, it's okay either way. These are the people that's going to say it's okay to take the mark of the beast. Okay? Those that's walking that tightrope. They're going to be the ones telling you to take the mark, folks. Let's go to the next call.
All right, so we have Sharon Hartwell from the 916 area code.
Shalom, Elder. This is Sister Sharon from Sacramento, GOCC, North Cali.
Bless you. How are you?
Can you hear me? I'm blessed, and I am just so blessed. I'm so grateful to the gathering and to you, Elder Lawya, Elder Gabar. I do have a testimony when I made it to Las Vegas, and you all three prayed for me. It did a world of wonders. I'm back to work. I'm one of the essential workers. I'm doing in-home support. And what I've seen during this time is really, that news is really taking effect on my clients. One of my clients looked like she was about to she just wanted to give up and die. And I encouraged her. I said, look, you can't listen to all that on the news, her and her husband. And I said, I just encouraged her that it's God's timing, not yours. And to try to, get over it and start eating. She has stopped eating.
Why?
So,
Excuse me.
The
Why?
last 3 days, she's gotten better and better.
Sister,
but,
why?
I've noticed that
Why?
they're bombarding.
Why did she stop eating? Give us some details. Why? What?
Well,
what happened?
She had some heart transplants, and she's been sickly, but she has no bronchitis or no cold or nothing like that. So it's just that she's been sick at times, and but she's doing very well, and she's been eating, exercising, and everything. And I think with all this this news going on about COVID-19, it just depressed her. And the 89-year-old, she's doing great too. No colds, or none of my clients are really, they don't have any flus or colds, because I do practice holistic health. I'm still under Dr. Burst, and he's excellent too. So I just want to thank you, all three of you that pray for me. I praise God for you, and I pray for you constantly. Elder Rawchaa, he's guided me for all the way into my rebaptism. I was born in the church, raised under strong men who did allow, who appreciated strong women, although I understand to listen to. They just appreciated our work. So,
Sister, it's okay.
Really missed.
Sister, all right.
I love him so much. Thank you.
We'll be fine. California gonna be fine. All right, let's go put her on mute real quick. All right, we going to the next call, sister. It's fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll keep praying.
All right, thank you. Let's get to the next call.
All right, so we have the 617 area code. What's your name and where you calling from?
Shalom.
Shalom, how are you?
I'm good, Elder. Shalom,
Bless you.
Elder Rawchaa, Elder Lawya. My observation about myself is that...
Hey, hold up, sister. Sister, I need you to give me, everyone that comes in, I need your name and your location. All right?
My name is Sister Eva, and I'm from Massachusetts.
Okay, great.
So my observation, Elder, is that I'm ill-prepared to
pick up and leave at a moment's notice. I'm a single mom. I live with my adult daughter and a son. So I'm in the process right now of just, getting a few things together in the event that we do have to just leave at a moment's notice. Basic supplies, tools, blankets, fire starters, that kind of stuff. But I just want to also point out that I'm still following the international news. I don't really listen to the full COVID-19 stuff. And the Saudi Arabia government, they are forcibly moving people from their land in order to continue build this NEOM. I think that's what it's called. And I think that area is where the original Mount Sinai is. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. I thought that's interesting that they're doing that at this moment.
Okay, sister, where you from?
Originally from Trinidad.
Okay, this is what I got real quick, right? And I'm with you. Just stick with me. Don't get upset with me. Right?
Sure.
I don't know if I can just pick up and leave. I have the international news. And there's land over there that's the promised land near Saudi Arabia or near the original land, right?
Correct.
All right. You see how I can't, what we need to do, right? Let's focus on one thing. I can't pick up and leave, right? The whole thing is this. And it have to be what you would call for all of us as a nation, right? A spirit shift, right? Because there's nothing we've ever experienced in earth that will prepare us for freedom. We don't know what freedom is. And I'm going to give you an example. Just like nothing in this earth could have prepared us for captivity. We didn't prepare to go into captivity. We went into captivity. So I need you to really embrace what I'm showing you right here, sister. Okay? The Bible says, be like pilgrims in that day. There's no preparation for leaving. There's no preparation outside of preparing your mind, your soul, and your spirit. Okay? That's what you have to prepare. And guess what? That can happen today. Because the spirit go where it listed. If you are one with the Most High and are spiritually led, you're ready. Okay? It's not like Christ is going to say, okay, pack y'all bags, make sure you have your luggage together and your passport at this time to get on a plane to go into the kingdom. So the preparation is to be baptized, get your spirit right with the Almighty who owns the universe, including this little tiny piece called Earth. And then you link in with those of like mind and be guided through the Spirit. And we'll make it together, sister. That's all the preparation you need.
Okay.
All right?
And Elder, I totally agree. And I am baptized. And I'm
there you go.
The body. I was just saying that should we have to leave, at least, if we have to leave at a moment's notice, at least just have just the basics with us, like our passports and things like that, just so that we can just
do what you can. But right now it's impossible to get passports in America. Why? Because they have actually stopped processing them for a moment. So what we need to do at this point is just, prepare for what we can. Okay? Do what we can until the Most High open it up. Okay? And then when the Most High open it up, the best identification one can have is the passport. All right? But really, stay linked in with the church, stay prayed up, and be led through the Spirit. We're going to do this together, sister. All right?
Yes.
All right.
I know that all praise be to the Most High, Tawada.
Thank you, Sister Tawada. All right, next call.
All right, we have the 513 area code. What's your name and where you calling from? $513, are you there?
Lawya, you still with me, ain't you?
All right, let's go to the next caller. 678. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going? This is Nathan. I'm calling from Texas.
All right, shalom, Nate. How are you? And
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
And someone asked, what do I have in the cup? Tea is in the cup. All right. I'm blessed by the Almighty. How can I help you?
Yo, so really enjoy your broadcast. I've actually never, sat on the phone, for that long before. But anyway,
thank you for
I'm actually an essential
thank you,
worker.
brother, for your patience. Thank you for that. But go on.
No, man, you're good. I actually have my own company, and we're essential workers. I have a commercial cleaning company, and the bulk of my clients are medical. So I tell you this: it's not what people are making it out to be. As far as this rush emergency, like I literally am working in medical facilities every single day. And I probably did one really extreme deep clean for a COVID patient, and I have over 5 24-hour medical facilities all over the DFW area. So, the fear, the panic. I was actually speaking with a nurse the other day. She said that they had patients come in at the beginning of the year. And she stated to me that the doctors are 99.9% sure that that big surge and rush of people that were coming in at the beginning of the year were COVID-19 patients, but they didn't have the technology to test them for it because all of the tests were coming back negative for the flu. So, yeah, man. So I definitely appreciate the broadcast. Just giving you guys a heads up. I think this second surge or whatever was going on right now, I believe that COVID-19 is real, but I think it's something else that's a lot more sinister that's going on. But because I think the first wave of all of the stuff that's happened at the beginning of the year, and it's not like how it is right now, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Hey, it's like this, brother. People can believe what they want to believe. I believe that the cold, flu, and all that is real. And I also know that the coronavirus is a part of all the different viruses that we've had. Okay. So there's a great chance that everyone on earth had the coronavirus. Just like the basketball player who was test positive, but no one heard from him since then. And come to find out, he was healed in a few days, just like a regular cold. Whatever happened to Tom Hanks? Did he die over? Is he still living? So what I'm saying is, and I think, let me tell you, there's so many levels. I need to just keep you on hold because I'm going to show you how the media is using this, in total wickedness, how they're spinning things, right? People are saying that the COVID-19 is a conspiracy, that is fake. No, it's not. Everyone knows that coronavirus was in the back of our Lysol cans. It was in the back of my Lysol can as a kid. It says it kills coronavirus. So if this coronavirus was on our Lysol can since I was a kid, that means somebody back then, my mother or father, had coronavirus. So this is how they're trying to spin it. They're saying that it doesn't work. Or they're saying it isn't real. I know it's real. But the reason why the tests are so inconsistent and all that is because why? just like any flu or cold that they've been telling us for years. After a person gets it, it can easily mutate into something else. A different strain of a cold or flu. So what coronavirus is today, after I develop antibodies, is going to be a different strain that's coming out tomorrow. Same way as a flu. So the whole thing is, the issue is they got everyone talking about a cold or a flu symptom and not looking at the overall mark of the beast system that has been placed right up under our feet. So corona, that whole corona thing is really a diversion. Okay? I done had flus to the point where, listen, I have flus to the point where I didn't know whether or not I was going to live or die. And I can count a lot of them that I've had. Coughing up green stuff and all that. Okay? So the whole thing is this, folks. This is how the media is spinning things. Now they're talking about 5G. 5G now is causing coronavirus. Another lie. No one said 5G is causing coronavirus. So this is how the media is spinning the conspiracy wheel, which is really the bait and switch. You have healthcare and others saying, well, I know people, and I know people who has it, and they saying it ain't real. No one is not saying it isn't real. Okay? Colds are real. Flus are real. Coronavirus is real. But what do they got to do now with legislation being pushed right up under your nose while you're looking at coronavirus? A bill that was just signed to confiscate what they call assault weapons. That's what we're saying. They got you looking one way, and there's a lot of other things going on. What about the organs that are being harvested through this? What about the people that can't bury their families because the funeral homes now have made contracts with the hospitals to burn bodies? That's what we're saying, brother. That this thing is being used as a reset for the whole world, and which has nothing to do with a cold or a virus or a flu at all. This is a financial reset. That's what we're saying. Okay? You got it?
Got you.
All right.
I got you for sure.
All right, my brother. Let's go to the next call.
Appreciate it, man.
My brother.
Okay, so we have from the 864, Jawari. Where you calling from?
Calling from Greenville, South Carolina.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Elder? And thank you for the broadcast tonight. Thank you for your time.
Hey, man, listen.
In reference to your question.
I mean, I've been here for how many hours now? 4 or 5 hours? I'm like, listen, let me just flow through these calls and, get me something to eat and I'll rest tomorrow. Talk to me.
Amen. Well, I just want to just share a little bit. You was talking about, things that we've learned. And certainly I want to say that for me and my family, it's been one of those things that we continually, ask every day, that the Lord would just give us wisdom, during these times that we're living in. And, my wife and I, we've learned, just to, stay committed and dedicated to the Most High and His Word, building my marriage and, building our children up in the faith. And right now for us, it's family time. I think I hear a lot of people on my job, and how they, certain individuals at home and they kind of want to get away from their wives and things like this. But for me, I'm a family man to the heart, and I'm enjoying, my time with my family. I do work full time. My wife, she takes care of our children. She's at home wife and everything. So just because everything slowed down, it gives us more time to spend time together. So I'm enjoying that. Humility has been key in my life, and I still, honestly try to find ways where I can, be more humble and serve wherever I can. And another thing I just want to, just share with the listeners out there, and what we're doing and what I've been doing for years because of the environment that I've grown up in, is teaching others how to garden and save seeds. And I really have seen, and you may have as well, but I've really seen a lot of people, even heard a lot of people wanting to start gardens this year. And even when I've called to get seed, a lot of your seed banks, they're just flooded with just people asking for seeds. A lot of the seeds that's online, at least where I purchased, they're out of stock, and different things like that. That we at, I'm getting ready for my summer garden. We're growing green beans, cucumbers, bell peppers, tomatoes, okra, purple hulls, squash, watermelon, cantaloupe, zucchini, eggplant, just to name a few, muscadine, scopadine, figs, grapes with seeds, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries. And, the other year, about a year and a half ago, we planted a pomegranate tree, some elderberry, as well as some mulberry. And we teach our children this, and I think that's something we should be doing. That, you don't have to have, 4 acres of land. You can just do something, on your back porch or your patio or whatever, because when the day comes and they do shut the grocery stores down, that's going to be the day that, that someone's going to be like, man, I wish I would learn how to garden, how to do something. So I just want to encourage anybody who's out there listening is to, start gardening, find maybe, YouTube or wherever you can, or tap into your mom or tap into your uncle, some of the old timers who still have that knowledge. And I just have been grateful because, it came up in my family for many, many generations. And I'm still holding on to that tradition. So I just wanted to share that with you, and thank you for my time.
Thank you, brother. And I'm glad you're able to spend this time with your family, and all praises be to the Most High that you're doing something constructive with your family, taking full advantage of this opportunity, falling in line with some of the questions we asked. How has this changed things, and what will you do in this time? So thank you, brother, for your testimony. There's something I want to show brothers and sisters real quick on the screen. Y'all see me getting it ready. Before you pull them in, real quick, there's something I want to show on the screen. Here's somebody you need to know. This is the guy that Bill Gates is in position to take this guy's place. Henry Kissinger. Check out his speech in 2009. Look at it now. Look at your screen. Check out his speech, brothers and sisters, for y'all with y'all COVID-19, thinking that it's about COVID-19 and thinking that, okay, nothing is happening in the hospitals. There's no organ harvesting going on, none of that, right? Check out Henry Kissinger. A speech to the WHO, World Health Organization Council on Eugenics, February 25th, 2009. Once the herd accepts mandatory forcible vaccination, it's game over. They will accept anything. Forcible blood or organ donation. Now, if they thought COVID-19 and this disease was so rampant amongst people, why would the Red Cross and others be ramping up campaigns for you to go downtown or go to your blood banks to give blood? Why? All on your news and all, they're saying give blood right now. Why? If they believe the world as diseased as it is to a degree where they have to quarantine everyone who might be COVID-19, why would they want you to go out there and give away infected COVID blood? Once the herd accepts mandatory forcible vaccinations, it's game over. They will accept anything. Forcible blood or organ donation. Why would they still be getting organs or trying to get organs if they feel everyone is infected with something? It says, for the greater good. We can genetically modify children. Oh, isn't he spiritual? I bet you this guy's a Christian too. It says, we can genetically modify children and sterilize them in Jesus' name. for the greater good. Control sheep minds and control the herd. Vaccine makers stand to make billions. And many of you in this room today are investors. It's a big win-win. We thin out the herd, and the herd pays for us for providing extermination services. Now, what's for lunch, huh? In Jesus' name. If y'all think this is about something that has cold symptoms, you've missed the bus, okay? Elder Lawya, you've been waiting patiently. You have anything to say before I go to the next call?
No, sir.
All right, thank you for your patience, brother. I know you sleep on your feet, but right now I got some hot tea. I'm going to just kill this and then I'm out. All right, what our next call? Give us our next call, Ramar.
Okay, we have Joe. Where you calling from?
From DMV.
DMV, talk to us, brother.
Hey, shalom, Elder. Just real quick, wanted to go over a scripture that our brothers have been going over in regards to fear and things of that nature. Jeremiah 31:8 and 10.
You said y'all been. Hey, brother, were you asleep before did we wake you up?
Not at all.
Oh,
I've been on here wide awake, wait for my turn.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I wouldn't blame it. I wouldn't blame you if you were. Okay, so you say
No, it's all good.
Okay, you say the brothers was going over Jeremiah 31, right?
Yeah, well, it's just something that we've been sharing to kind of keep each other, in the right mind frame and the spirit.
Okay, the floor is yours.
All right, so Jeremiah 31:8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. Verse 10. Hear the word of the Most High, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, he that scattered Israel will gather him and keep him, as a shepherd doeth his flock. I kind of brought that up because, as far as brothers and sisters that might be out there afraid of, might not be able to get out of Babylon, woo. It's not something that we really should be concerned with. We got to get our relationship straight with the Most High, more important. And even if we do get out of here, if we're not in the right mind frame, then that'll take you to Ezekiel, verse 38, and he'll purge out among you the rebels. You know what I mean? So just to bring that out real quick, but more importantly, what I was really calling about is yesterday, my father sent me a text message about my cousin in Jersey, and she's in the hospital right now with blood clot and bleeding on the brain. It's not understood how that came about, but while she was in the hospital, they diagnosed her with COVID. She's been heavily sedated. Family can't visit her because of COVID, and they haven't talked to her since Saturday.
Hold up, brother. Okay, let's reel this back. And okay, what is her relation to you again?
This is my cousin.
Okay, your cousin. How old is your cousin?
Let's see, I'm 40. She's probably about 34, 35.
She's in her mid-30s.
Correct.
Okay. Why did she have any pre-existing conditions, any ailments, any other things going on with her before now?
To my knowledge, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, you don't know if she was struggling with sicknesses. All right. How did she get to the hospital? Okay. What happened that led her to the hospital?
Well, after calling my father, because like I said, he sent me the text. After calling him, and he has vague information, but be that as it may, her sister went to go visit her, and there was a lump under her right arm. And she was playing it off, playing it cool, and her sister was like, nah, I think you need to go get that checked out. That and her going to the hospital eventually led to the text message he got from her mother and her father in Jersey.
Okay, so folks, listen
And then
up. Hold up, folks, because I don't know, because you're not too clear to me. So as far as your phone, it's real distorted. In a nutshell.
All right, let me.
In a
better.
Yeah, it's better. In a nutshell, let me just explain this real quick. The brother has a cousin in her mid 30s who is fairly healthy. She gets with her cousin speaks to her cousin or friend, a sister, you said?
Her sister went to go visit her.
Okay, her sister went to go visit her. And
she was at home.
She was at home. She was living, breathing at home.
Yeah.
And her sister comes to her and she shared with her sister that there was a lump under her arm. So she goes to the hospital to get the lump under her arm checked out. And her father now calls him, this brother here, and says, "What, brother? She's in the hospital.
He sent a text. Yeah.
Diagnosed with COVID-19. And she's right now, she's on a ventilator?"
Nobody knows. Nobody can talk to her. Nobody can visit her. Like I say, the scenario is that so the text message that was sent out from her mother and her father to my father was she has blood clots and she's bleeding on the brain. And while she was in the hospital,
you hear this,
they
Lawya?
diagnosed her with COVID.
Lawya, you hear this? So now she haven't talked to anyone, Lawya, right? Since Saturday, and now they getting a text message that she has what on the brain?
She's bleeding on the brain and has blood clots.
She bleeding on the brain and have blood clots. And have anyone called or talked with her at all?
They can't because she's heavily sedated. According to the doctors.
She's heavily sedated according to the doctors under COVID-19. Now, let me ask you this question, just hypothetical. Now, even though she had a lump on under her arm before going to the hospital, you think she would have been better off before your sister came and spoke with her? If she stayed home? If your cousin stayed home, do you think she'd be better off now than she is right now?
In my opinion, most definitely.
Okay.
The reason why I say most definitely is like, all right, so go to like one of those patient first things, get checked out and see what it's about. Because as soon as you go to the hospital, based on the information that not only you brought out, but our backtracking, with the CDC, anything you go into the hospital for, basically they putting under COVID-19 anyway.
Man, you know what? We make sure we say, let me get her name and we'll say a prayer for her. What's her name?
Jasmine.
We'll say a prayer for her.
I appreciate it.
I mean, so many times we hear about people going into the hospital with minimal health issues, only to receive grave information. Like Bernie Mac went in for something and then they say he died of pneumonia. Let me tell you, folks, these people, man, I'm telling you, a few weeks ago, it showed it online where they're taking people and they're hacking people up. If you're nice, strong, and you have some seriously strong organs, I'm going to tell you, man, it's like, they can do a lot under this COVID. We should just pray. And if I was her father, I don't understand why he's just sitting back and just waiting for someone to call and give him some details. That's his daughter. But I digress. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Someone says the movie Get Out. Exactly. You know, it's a shame, but we'll pray for her. We'll pray for Jasmine. Let us know if let us know when you hear the details, when you get an update. Please let us know, brother, if you're listening. Give us an update on Sister Jasmine. All right. All right. What's next?
All right. So from the 310, we have Yolanda. Where you calling from?
Hi, how are you?
What you doing
calling
up
from
this time
Los
of night?
Angeles.
What you doing up this time of night? I don't know what I'm doing up.
Actually,
Listen, I started digressing 3 hours ago. Talk to me.
I'm up because this when I listen to GOC, I tend to stay up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm only calling because I wanted to comment on what Brother Puerto Rico was speaking. I forgot his name, forgive me. When he talked about us being not just in the word, but living our life according to how the Bible directs us. And in 2 Chronicles, it's 7, it talks about, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then they will hear from heaven. And he will forgive our sins and he will heal the land. So I really think this COVID-19 is causing more people to turn to the Spirit of God and actually give their life, be baptized. And so I think that's a blessing within itself, that if this is what has to happen to get our people to turn to God, and live their life according.
There's some weird noise going on in between her call, Ramar. What's that?
Okay, is it gone?
It's gone now. What was going on there?
My phone was plugged up, and like you say, the devil will come in and try to stop you from sharing what you need to share.
All right. Okay.
And so that's what was happening. And then my other comment is when you guys had mentioned, where are our pastors? Well, a lot of times those big congregations are ran by the government, and they're sold out because their nonprofit status is threatened if they teach truth. So I believe that to our fullest, that they have to follow what the government is telling them to put out there to the people, or their nonprofit status. They're really not nonprofit. A profit. I mean, they have jets. They live in gated communities. They drive the nice cars and things of that nature. So I just wanted to hear your spin on that, sir.
Well, sister, you can teach not to take the mark of the beast and keep your nonprofit status. You can teach the truth and still have your nonprofit status in place. You can. Right? But let me put you on hold, okay? Thank you. I don't think those guys know the Bible, to tell you the truth. I believe they're just strictly they're motivational speakers. They don't know the Bible. But yes, Ramar.
I was going to speak on that real quick, Elder. Because I know Gaja had mentioned it earlier, also with the title, The Sheep Are Sound Asleep. Speaking to some of the Christian people I know who have had relationships throughout the years, it's amazing just how none of them are being taught prophecy at all. Like when it comes to prophecy, they're just totally illiterate when it comes to prophecy. So you have to really ask, what are they being taught in these churches? So part of that being asleep is because none of these churches are teaching them the prophecies and telling them, what does this mean, this event, according to prophecy? Like, totally oblivious. It's just things are going to go back to normal, and they're just waiting it out.
Yeah. They're in for a rude awakening. And by the way, I don't think y'all just I think y'all just missed the fact that Barack Obama just endorsed Joe Crime Bill Biden. y'all didn't know about that, huh? Now, who
did that yesterday, right?
Yeah, but who didn't know that was going to happen? Like they would use Barack Obama as a dark, quote unquote, no pun intended, the dark horse at the very end to try to keep Joe Biden's campaign alive. Listen, our people need to pull out of the electoral process altogether. That's all I have to say. Just pull out of that crap. All right? Just pull out of it. It doesn't make any sense. The guy that's responsible for the guy that's responsible for many children being raised without a father. Okay, through that crime bill that was signed by Joe Biden. All of the young men of the 90s and the early 80s and late 90s were thrown in prison for non-violent offenses, felonies. Okay? And now because Barack Obama, I endorse him. I endorse him. Now everyone is going to try to say, well, yeah. Let me follow him because he's being endorsed by Barack Obama, huh? What did Barack Obama do for you again? What has he done for us again? But we all know. Just get out of the electoral process altogether. Vote for Christ and sit there and let this thing fall. Okay? Two birds. A bird needs two wings to fly. Okay? So you take one wing away and the bird falls. So what I'm saying is the Democrat Party have always been the party that lynched, killed, and destroyed, demoralized, and dumbed down black people. Okay? If the KKK had their way, they would be Democrat. All right, let's go. With that, I'm going to say shalom, Elder Lawya. I think we've broken a record tonight, and I don't believe we'll ever do this again. I'm asleep on my feet. May the Most High be with you. Pray for us. Stay prayed up. Sin not. And don't let them, brothers and sisters, do not let them break your will. And don't lose your love for humanity through this global reset. Stay in the spirit. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Don't let COVID climate change you. Shalom.
Wow.
Thank you, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're the man. Thank you, Elder Gaja. Thank you, Elder Ramar. Praise the Almighty. And thank all you brothers and sisters for your support. We love you. Stay prayed up, sin not. We will soon see Zion.
Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out here anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.